Check, check. Just need a good AI voice and this voiceover, and this will be Expo ready. My man, Jeff Fabiano in the house. Good to see you, man. Good to meet you. Speaking of AI voices, I'm going to need one. My voice is still recovering. I've got some hot coffee here to help me recover as well. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the post-Expo debrief. My goodness. We have a lot to talk about today. It's gonna be a fun one. We're gonna fly the same flight I did yesterday, MSP back down to DFW, and I'm thinking of doing historical weather. Can I do historical weather? Does it work? So yesterday, my flight back to Dallas, we returned to gate. We ended up being 3 hours late because some rain clouds in DFW. But yeah, we're going to redo that one. We're going to be in the iFly Max, the Service Pack 1 update. I'm very anxious to try this. I do love flying the 7.3 Max. I fly the Max real life. Matter of fact, I'm probably flying it tomorrow. So it's going to be a fun one to see how far iFly's come with this update. Alpha Mike, good to see you. Happy to catch one live. Good to see you, my man. Joe Plains is in the house. Tower Ray, dude. Pleasure meeting you, Joe Plains. Have a great weekend. Great to meet y'all. You as well, dude. Hope you enjoy the Amtrak on the way back. Always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure to put faces to the Discord names and YouTube names. It's been a ton of fun. Team Vodka, got to meet him in real person. Yo, if you guys ever want to know what Team Vodka is like, if you've seen the movie Flight, and you know Denzel's guy with the banana boat, 1-to-1 Team Vodka. Absolute awesome human. Had a wonderful time meeting you, man. And everybody, man. Can't even remember the names. I met BKG. Fabiano was there, obviously. Captain Corndog. I got my button right here, man. Pleasure to meet you. Met Tower Ray. Met Mick Oatmeal. It was awesome. So we'll talk all about it for sure. Chris PT6 is in the house. AJ Funari is in the house. Good to see both of you. Chris, dude, it was a pleasure talking to you and your lovely girlfriend as well, man. Hopefully you guys made it back all safe and sound. I know there was some weather that affected us, dude. Our flight was like 3 hours late getting in. So it's been a blast. We're going to talk all about Expo when we get to cruise. It's about 2 hours and 10 minutes or so in flight. So we should have plenty of time to do a full debrief. But, man, what do you guys think about Vegas Expo next year? What do you think about Vegas? We'll talk about that, too. It's going to be freaking hot. Zach Winnick, thank you for the 36 months of support. Serious Expo FOMO. Can't wait to hear it all about it. Zach, you know, XP72 had a good line in one of his live streams there at the Expo. He said, you come for the hardware and stay for the people. And it couldn't be better said. So that's a great tagline for FS Expo. Mick Oatmeal, thank you for the $5 super chat. Sir says, oh, so glad to see everyone in person. Cool to see all the amazing people. I've been flying Pixel planes with absolutely Mick Oatmeal. And Water. How can I forget Water? Mr. Water was there. Water and I went to breakfast. We were supposed to go to Chris, but Chris slept in too late because he stayed up too late. Also made me stay up too late on the first night he got in. Thank you, Water, for everything you did, man. It was awesome meeting you in person and all you do for the channel, being a mod and all that stuff in the Discord. So it was absolutely a blast this year at FS Expo 2026. Also, I got asked like 2 or 3 times if Water was my son during FS Expo, which was a lot of fun. So, yeah, chicken fingers. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that too. We'll get the kids menu out next time we go out in Vegas, Water. I'm predicting it now. 27 Vegas X will be bigger than the Epic 23 version. Probably, man. Oz, welcome to Private Pilot. Glad to have you on board. Good to see you, man. Always a pleasure as well. All right, we're going to talk Expo. We're going to talk all things Expo. Please tell me this isn't work calling me. No, it's not work calling me. Whew, good. All right. I'm on long call for tomorrow, Sam. So can you just pick up any trips, Sam, that drop into OT? All right, I want to try historical weather. I'm going to try it. So let's go real time. Let's go live. And then 24-hour history. So I want to go back to Sunday will it let me? Oh, I can only go back to 11:42, which is about the time we landed. Oh, that's going to be super mid. Okay, so we're not going to do that. Scratch all that. Let's go back to live, custom. I'm going to wind back the time, though, to where we had it. It's 5:42 a.m. because it just looks a little bit more juicy. All right. Bluebird Native 2024 version at Vegas. Maybe. You know, you might be able to fly the Bluebird 7.5 at Vegas next year. We'll see. What about the Fisher-Price yokes next to the 4K throttle? Dude, Jeff, don't even. We can't be talking about this stuff yet. We're gonna wait till we get to cruise. But man, that 4K throttle. So the FSC 7.3 throttle quadrant. If you're thinking about buying one, don't buy one yet. Don't buy one yet. Wait for my link. No, I'm just kidding. It's 1-to-1 real life, dude. That 7.3 throttle quadrant. We'll talk about it because we got the max here too. We'll take a look at the throttle quadrant. There's some real little details that those guys got right. And basically, from my understanding, is the throttle quadrant FSC, they were making them for the actual simulators commercial level. So what they've done is they've now brought it down to a consumer level and are going to sell it to Flight Sim in the consumer market. So it was an absolute insane piece of hardware. It's also $4,000. So, I mean, you can get... What are you going to buy? You're going to buy 64 gigs of RAM, or are you going to get a $4,000 throttle? They're about the same price nowadays. So, Nabil, you were very close to buying that. My goodness. All right, let's. I know we're going to talk all about this. We'll be sitting here on the gate for the entire day if we don't get this thing fired up. So let's get this thing fired up. Why do I have a weird mouse thing now? What is this? Do you guys see what's going on with my mouse? Okay, there we go. You see, like, it was like a Maltese cross. V-Pilot Designs, glad to meet you, V-Pilot. V-Pilot, I wasn't sure. I saw your text, but then I had like 5 other non-read texts. It was all random numbers. But thank you, V-Pilot. I've got your stickers. I've got your pin right here ready to go, and I cannot wait. I won't say anything, V-Pilot, but I know V-Pilot's got some stuff cooking in the background. So pleasure to meet you, my friends. The face behind all the sceneries that we have come to love and enjoy, especially some of the smaller airports down there, South America, Central America, and here in the U.S. as well. But definitely a pleasure meeting you as well, sir. All right, here we go. Rock and roll. I'm going to jump in the airplane. I will say, out of the gate... Look at this. Oh, I should have had the camera right there. Pro streamers available elsewhere. Look at the little, I love the trucks that we can hook up now. For those of us who have quit GSX, even though Jeff is tempting me to go back to GSX now, he says it's great with the new interface and I need to try it and I'm missing out. I still haven't gone back to GSX. This is awesome for those of us that don't have GSX. It comes with its own little vehicles. You could set up your little fake loading thing here and your fueling, and it's very quick. It's just, click on the EFB. So I'll show you the new FB. Let's hop into the cockpit and get this thing fired up right now. So let's listen to the sounds. I'm going to turn the sounds up because there is a sound update too. So here we go. Let's get the batteries on. Make sure my sounds are up. Oh, yes. We'll go right into ground power. Love it. All right. We're going to do our initial overhead flow as the jet comes to life. So we'll come up to the top of the overhead here. We're going to get the ADIRs into a line nav. I'm going to test the slats just because it's fun. I do it in the airplane even though it's not part of our thing. Make sure our audio oxygen is nice and high. That looks good. Let's do 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4 potato. You can hear left and right with your headset that both stick shakers are going off. Crew supply switch. Broadband switch is off. This would actually be on right now, but I think that's just a standard or a fake switch there for the iFly. We're going to go ahead and move this over here. Hydraulic pressure and quantity, 99, 98. That looks good. We have brake temperature wear on this one, which we don't really on some of ours, or most of ours we don't. We'll check the emergency floor. We'll close that, emergency gear rather, for the floor. And this is cool. Look at this. This is like the actual... This is the mechanical checklist that are in the AA birds. It's obviously just a 2D, or it's just a livery thing, but that's pretty cool. They got that simulated before takeoff checklist. Cool deal. All right, go outside, do our pre-flight. Should we do a little pre-flight walk around here? Because I kind of want to see, there's been some changes out here externally, right? Makes things look a little bit sharper. So we'll do a quick pre-flight as we walk around. No tow bar, so we can walk through here. We'll come into the nose bay. Nose gear, everything looks good. There's no pin on the 7.3. We're just checking for a little bit of silver strut. All right, just a little bit of strut there on the oleo struts. Everything looks good. Emergency exit. That's emergency exit handle there for the pull out. That's cool. We got our probes. We've got static ports on this side, looking good. Cargo bay is looking good. We'll come around here. Look at this nice luggage. We got some nice luggage ready to board up, go down to DFW. No white spinner. That might be a livery thing, or it just wore off. I did update the livery. I know it required you to delete old liveries and stuff, so I don't know if there's been any additional third-party liveries, but this is the default livery from iFly Manager. We'll take a look at the back of the LEAP here. This looks pretty good. You can see right through. Looking good. Burner can looks good. I mean, it's better than it was. It's better than it was. We got our brakes. Everything looks good here. Come back around. Coming around, check underneath here. Make sure the cowling is latched up. That looks good. Got the chevrons. 3 Romeo Hotel is the bird for this one. Come out, we'll take a look at the beautiful Max winglets, which, you know what's funny? When this airplane first came out, I didn't like these. But I've actually really grown to like the Max winglets. Oops. Come back around. I want to take a look at the gear bay real quick, and then we're not going to pre-flight the backside because it's going to be the same. Here's our brake wear indicator pins. We've got plenty of brand new brakes, it looks like, on this one. Hop into the gear bay. Well, not most. A lot of the new Maxes do look this clean, but after a couple flights, or a couple hundred hours, really, the gear wells do not look that clean at all. Let's take a look at the tail skid real quick. We'll finagle our way around here. You can see we've got the outflow, and we've got the safety relief valve. Those are accurate. And the APU, the biggest difference, well, I say the biggest, but this is the APU door here, right? It's closed. The APU's off. Actually, does this simulate? I'll have to check that out. So this is new. This is a 2-position tail skid, which I don't believe we actually have on our jets. This should be up there, but I believe this is the 2-position tail skid. And I think you can configure this to a single position where you don't see that hanging down like that. But all you're checking is you want to make sure you still have green on the tail skid indicator. All right, take a look at the elevator. Everything looks good. We're going to zip right back to the cockpit, and let's get this aircraft programmed. We'll continue with our actual overhead pre-flight flow. So yaw damper is coming on. Fuel. We're going to leave the fuel tank pumps off. We don't have the APU on. I'm going to put you into aux battery. That's fine. I'm going to put you on APU gen for now. Ground power units is set up. Nothing to do with the gens. We'll leave that. Circuit breaker. We'll get a little background panel lighting on. Those can stay off. We'll arm the emergency exit lights. No smoking sign will stay on. Fasten seatbelts off. That's good for now. Window heat, we'll get those on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Probe heat is in auto. Everything looks good here. Hydraulic forward entry door. Do a test here on the CVR. Should get a green light. There we go. Pressurization looks good. Voice recorder is in auto. That's fine. We'll leave it in auto. I'll put you in aft. Trim air is on. These are all looking good. We're going to configure these for normal position right now. Those are in auto. Packs and bleeds on. APU bleed is off. Cruise altitude today. Let's see. We're flying down there at... what altitude are we flying down? 32. It actually is already set 32. DF dub is 650. We'll put 650 there in the bottom for DF dub. We'll throw the logo lights on. We'll throw the steady position lights on. I'm going to be flying a left side switch for me. Let's go ahead and do our wind wing program setup here. We'll come across the panel. Let's go ahead and go terrain, auto. Oh, my auto throttle won't arm. Auto throttle switch armed. That's unfortunate. Let's see. Heading, we're going to be blasting off 320. Runway 32 left. You fly USMC, my man. Good to see you. Thank you for the $2 super chat, man. How you doing? Are you going to be at next year's Expo? Hope you had a good weekend, man. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Top altitude. There's no ATC online. Let's set flight level 320 in the box. 320 is set. Course lines, we'll come back and set those. Flight directors, we'll get the first officer flight director on as well. And terrain mode, I don't think terrain is modeled on my EFIS yet. No, I got to program that. Terrain is set. Looking up underneath the panel, test is good. We'll do the annunciator tapes and 8s. Should have a wheel well light. That checks perfectly. Good. Turn you back off. Coming around. Test the first officer's alerts. That looks good. Coming back through here. Everything is normal. I'll put him on FMC. I'll put mine on FMC with my McDo from WinWing. Fuel flow, we're going to go reset back to rate. RTO is selected. RTO. Park brake is set. That is set. Fire detection test. And Bell cutout, that works. Lights and a bell, check. Left, right, that's all looking good. Overheat is in the normal position. Let's go ahead and test fire cargo. We would obviously check the bell and the lights. A little bit hard to do here. We're going to be 2,000 transponders on position 1. We'll put you in TARA. That's fine for right now. Stab trim, aileron rudder trim, 00. Door lights out. Everything looks good. Get a little panel background lighting here just to juice it up just a little bit. Just a little bit. All right. Let's go ahead and rock and roll. Let's get the airplane initialized. So we'll go pause and knit. And I'm going to pull up my flight plan here. So we're going to go to the next page. GPS left will bring you back. I am using the WinWing 7.4 panel because it's the closest to the newer FMC. All right, let's go to the route page. Let's go ahead and we're going to actually load SimBrief from over here, right? So the new EFB. The new EFB. So payload and balance. We're going to read from SimBrief OFP. No SimBrief found in data folder. Are you kidding me? Wait a second. This is not, surely this is not one of those things where you have to put the SimBrief file in a folder, or is it? Do you have to put it in the Navigraph or like some folder to actually have SimBrief integration? There's no... Hold on, maybe there's a setting I forgot to do. Oh, that's all done. I have Navigraph already linked. No OFP available. Import SimBrief flight. Oh. V1 Sim. Or is it the ID? Internal server error. Oh, pilot ID. Hold on. Stand by. Hey, there we go. All right, I was about to throw a hissy fit. Just kidding. All right, that's good. So now, read from SimBrief. Yes, welcome to 2026. Welcome to 2026, iFly. Trying out my newly purchased Moza. Ooh, Ryan, very cool, man. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Hope you enjoyed Flight Sim Expo, because it was an absolute blast, man. I see you had a good time picking up the Moza Alpha Yankee 210. All right, let's do a real time. Let's do 15 minutes. Boarding in 15 minutes. I love it. Oh.
Please confirm the flight information on your boarding pass and take your seat according to the seat number shown on the boarding pass.
Now I can do
Place
this.
your
Wonderful.
hand-carried items in the overhead compartment and under the seat in front of you. When opening
Why does it
overhead
sound like she's talking
compartments,
to me,
please take
though?
care that any baggage does not
Can we
fall
turn her
out.
off?
Please keep the aisle clear in order to facilitate access for other passengers by taking
Can we turn her
your seat
announcement
as soon
off?
as possible. Thank you.
Okay. Cabin voice. Okay. I mean, you would hear it like that. It wouldn't. It shouldn't be coming through my headset. It shouldn't be coming through my headset unless it's. Is it connected to this? That's all right. Anyway, we got it fixed. All right. Let's get this flight plan loaded. Is it going to bring up the flight plan, or do I have to do this manually? While that happens, let me look at the taxi charts for 10-9. Let's get our courses and all that stuff set up. Right. Donut sugar diabetes. I'm safe. What's up, AJ? Picked up 6 of those bad boys on the way home, man. Picked up 6 of those on the way home. It was delicious. All right. 301. I went the wrong way on this side. You'll have to send flight plan from the EFB? Okay, so not realistic? I'll do that in a sec. Hold on. 301. Alright, so we have to send it from the EFB, they say. Navigraph, send all data to aircraft. Send flight plan data to FMC. Sure. Okay, cool. Points for PMDG on that one. Alright, execute. Let's do ahead and do perf and NIT. We'll come back to that. Now let's do our actual route. Departure arrival, we're going to be departing off runway 30 left. We'll get a full taxi of MSP. Our flight plan today consists of the Orsky 3. Orsky 3 to Ontij. We'll execute that. Then we'll go back to departure arrivals. DFW. I believe we landed on 36 left. So we'll do ILS 36 left. Allen transition. We're coming down the Jovem 6 from Hoff because they vectored us out over California because there was some rain clouds over North Texas. So Jovem 6, Hoff, Allen transition for the ILS 36 left. We'll execute that. That puts us in the legs page. We'll come back. Let's do some wind data. Can we do that? Let's do a winds request. See what happens here. Dude, I had no idea Sun Country had so many flights. It was like Southwest at St. Louis. Really? Well, you know what, Jeff? They are. Imagine when they complete this merger too with Allegiant. They're going to be a big player. They're going to become a big player, man. BKG Blueface, dude, an absolute pleasure meeting you, my man. BKG Blueface was there. We hung out, went to dinner. Great time this weekend. Hope to see you next year. Oh, you can count on it. You can count on it, BKG. You can count on it, my man. Pleasure meeting you. All right, let's do forecast winds, descent winds requests. Let's see if this all loads up here. Classic Jet Sim Pilot, my man. I got to meet you as well, and it was a pleasure. Absolute pleasure meeting you, Classic Jet Sim Pilot. I did see your your CSS 7.3 video as well. Did drop. Guys, if you haven't, check out Classic Jet Sim Pilot for all your CSS 737 needs. I won't convince you to buy the CSS 7.3, but Classic Jet Sim Pilot will. Absolute pleasure meeting you, sir. Hope to see you at the next year's Expo as well. Maybe we can go out get some dinner or something as well, man. But it was absolutely a blast meeting you, CJ Sim Pilot. All right, winds are in the box. That all looks good. All right, hey, we're doing things. Let's go ahead and do our zero fuel weights. 110.6. Let me see if that's going to check with our sim brief plan here. So zero fuel is going to be not that. We should be 137.9. Interesting. Oh, it's loading in real time. That's right. So I'll put 137.9 there, and we'll see what happens. Let me look at the fuel ladder for reserve fuel. We do have an alternate Oak City, 3,000 pounds. Reserve 5%, 564. Let's call it 7.0. I tell you what, let's do 7,000 pounds. Reserve cost index 43,320. That looks good. N1 limits for takeoff. Insufficient fuel because we're still fueling, so that's a normal message. We'll clear that out. I kind of want to hear the sounds at maximum 28K thrust, so we're not going to do a D rate with temp. We're going to do a 28. We're going to do a 29K bump, chat. 29K bump. No derate. Takeoff. Let's do flaps 5 for sounds. Flaps 5 for sounds. CG trim. I'm going to leave that blank because I'm going to update the CG after boarding is complete. Are you guys good with that? I don't know why I can't clear it out. What's going on with that? Okay, we'll clear that out. I'm going to leave the speeds blank. We'll leave it on this page so we can complete the init on the way back. So until then, let's do a Magic Barrel ref. We got our flight directors on. Let's go ahead and get the APU started. We will actually have center fuel, I think. So we'll get a let's get a center tank pump on. We'll get the APU started. We'll take a listen. There's the APU door. You see the APU door open up? Remember on the walk around we saw this right here? Oh. Shh. Sorry, ruined it for you guys. Mike P in the house. What's going on, man? Yeah, we're coming. You're coming to your favorite place, Mike P. Lost Wages. Captain DMV in the house. Great to meet you again at FS Expo, Captain DMV. Always a pleasure, my man. Met Captain DMV. I mean, I feel like, you know, this being my second Expo, I really feel like this one was way more about the people than about anything else at the Expo floor, which was really cool. My first Expo, it was more, you know, just a whirlwind of experience. Everyone, you know, meeting everybody for the first time, right? So there's no familiarity with anybody because it's the first time meeting everybody. And then with just the craziness going on, it was such a whirlwind. This time, I was able to kind of just sit back and kind of engage people more, and that really became the star of the show for me. Was meeting the faces and seeing familiar faces this time. Captain DMV, of course. So it was awesome, man. First Expo 727, second Expo Tupolev. Yeah, I know, right? Carson's in the house. Good to see you, Carson. Yeah, the Tupolev coming up on FSS, which ought to be pretty interesting. All right, APU is online. We'll let that burn for another 43 seconds. I know Turk Herein wants to see a route and legs review like we do real life. So let's go ahead and do a route legs review for Turk Herein. I don't have my EFIS part modeled on. I have to make a profile for MobiFlight for the EFIS. But what we can do is a route and legs review. We'll put you in plan mode. We'll put data on here, and we will start from the top. So we're MSP to Dallas. We're American 357. We're on the Orsky 3 Ontij direct OVR, J121 to ICT direct HOF. That's the Jovum 6. Moving to legs. We're going to be a vector off runway 30 left out to Journey, Rummel, Pedlin above 9,000 feet, Orsky above 9,000 feet, Ontij above 12,000 feet, OVR, Judge, Gossel, Peebo, ICT, Hoff, Ben. This is on the arrival, Tipton, and then we're going to stop there because that's part of the Jovum 6. We'll brief that in flight. I got a total route distance today of 888 miles. If I take a look at my SimBrief flight plan that I'm using nifty on my new EFB at home, I bought my old company iPad, the 865 plan. We're 888 in the box. That checks. It's within limits. We got a couple of departures and arrival runways in there that are accounted for in the SimBrief. So that's why you get a difference in mileage. That all checks out. Let's go ahead and do perf. We can't do perf because it's still loading, so we'll hold it there at the perf. Let's go ahead and brief a depart tour. Let's take a look at the actual, let's see how these charts are on this EFB. We're going to taxi out runway 30 left today. We'll probably take Quebec Alpha full length, or Quebec Bravo full length, or Quebec Charlie full length rather, to runway 30 left. On the SID, we said we're on the Orsky 3. Orsky 3 departure. I like how snappy this EFB is. Runway 30 left for sign heading 220 clockwise, cross 7 MSP above 3,500. So we need to go to our fix. Let's go ahead and throw this in here. That's going to be the MSP VOR, and we're going to put a radial distance, we're going to put a distance of 7. We're going to do /7 here on the box and put a ring around so we have it on our ND. So we're going to blast off. We need to cross that at above 3,500 feet. We're going out to Journey, Rummel. We checked all that. First fix is Pedlin above 9. If we're not above 9 by Pedlin, we definitely have more issues going on. That leads us into emergency return review. If we have to come back, we'll come right back to runway 30 left. I believe it is the longer runway, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, we'll come right back, 30 left, 10,000 feet dry runway. I'll fly it. You fix it in the chat because you guys know everything. And then we'll go to the hotel back there, Courtyard Marriott in St. Paul. And I'll meet you all at Zamboni's on the patio while we fill out our ASAP reports and talk to the union because we blew an engine on takeoff. All right, that's your departure brief. That's all looks good. We'll do a 2-engine taxi out of here. We're going up to flight level 320. We've got 3 minutes. Let's go ahead and get the APU on gen. 1, 2, we'll get the APU bleed on. We'll get some air conditioning going up, and we'll go ahead and pull the ground power from down below. So let's go to ground services. GPU truck is disconnected. Excellent. Reset that. That's normal. We don't need you in plan mode anymore. We'll put you back into map mode. I do like flying around with the FPV up. And we are looking good. How are we looking on boarding time and progress? Can I check that somewhere? Let's go back to payload and balance. 4 minutes left, chat. 4 minutes left. All right. Let's take a look at the sun rising over here. Now, I am using... Guys, I bought the Flightbeam MSP, but I don't know where I got it from. I ran out of time searching my emails. So all I did is I moved it from my 2020 community folder to my 2024 community folder. It works fine, but I think they had an update that made it either better performance or more compatible with 24, and I don't have that update, so we might get some stutters on the ground taxiing out of here, but that's on me. It's not a Flightbeam problem. It actually looks pretty dang smooth right now, and I gotta tell you, that wing is looking excellent as well. All right, let's go back to full screen cam here. You know what, Andre? It probably was Contrail. I totally forgot to check Contrail. I was looking like at Sim Market, and I'm like going through my emails, and I was trying to log into Flightbeam, but I couldn't remember my password, so I did a password reset, and then I ran out of time, and I went and got coffee instead. So I bet you it's Contrail. Thank you, Andre. I'm gonna have to check that. Spotting from the top of the parking deck of MSP, we had an amazing view of 30 left. Say some Purdy 75s, 350s, KLM 78. Shout out. Nice. I believe Delta Tango in the Discord for the wreck. Yes, Delta Tango. Always a pleasure. I don't know if he's here in chat. Met the lovely couple Delta Tango and Mrs. Delta Tango at Expo for the second time. Always a pleasure. I saw them doing some plane spotting out there on the terminal, which was pretty cool. So yeah, I do use Contrail mostly with everything now, Flight Sim guy. I just, for some reason, I forgot to check it. Because I had like 3 of them. I had Contrail, still have Sim Market, there's another one I have, and then you got Orbix. But I think slowly but surely I'm trying to get everything on Contrail because I just like having one app. So I can almost guarantee you. Yeah, it's definitely a skill issue, AJ. Definitely a skill issue. Hello, Captain. Watching you stream since you started in 2020 and barely speaking English. And now already on 60% done ATPL. 5,000 hours on VATSIM stream. Feels like home. Tango Kilo. So, you know what? I do recognize that name. So, man, that's awesome, man. Congrats. Glad you're still enjoying the content. Thank you so much for tuning in, man. I hope you enjoy this beautiful morning departure out of St. Paul down DFW, man. Mr. Sandman is in the house. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Sandman says, V1 started my PPL training this past weekend. Probably wouldn't have started if it wasn't for V1 Nation and your streams. So thank you for all the content. Hey, Sandman, thank you so much, dude, for the $10 super chat and the shout out about getting your PPL. Let me know how it, as you progress. That's one of the best things about this channel and this community that I had no idea was going to happen when I first started making Airbus videos is I have known and made personal friends with people from this community on my channel that were watching without any real-world flight experience that are now sitting right seat in 737s flying for mainline legacy carriers. And everywhere in between. I know people that are still working on PPL. I know people that are still instructing, but that have started their real-world aviation journey. And whether it was this channel or me or whatever, something that they got from the community here at V1 Nation that sparked that just ignited the flame to pursue real world aviation. It's always awesome.
Should
to
save
hear the
this for
stories.
my 737 throttle fun, but it was great
my
meeting
goodness,
you,
Captain
Mrs.
McGee.
V1, and everyone else. Hope to see everyone in Vegas.
Captain McGee, thank you for the $30 bank angle check. Absolute pleasure to meet you as well. Thank you for the $30 bank angle check, man. Very, very kind. Miss V1 was there. Miss V1 was the star of the show for me, y'all. Miss V1, she's an absolute legend. For those of you that met her, now you know why I'm able to do what I do. I mean, she's had my back. She's a rock star, and she thoroughly enjoyed being there and meeting all of you. She was very excited to see the whole thing go down. So thank you again, man. Appreciate you. Thank you for the $30 bank angle check. And we'll get you some Blackbird levers here. Maybe Blackbird will stop by the chat here. Well, maybe we'll get you a friends and family discount, my man. Thank you so much, dude, for the support. All right, it sounds like we are done boarding, if I'm not mistaken. We are done boarding. So the aircraft is boarded. So now, do I just double-click the zero fuel weight here? 137.9. No, I want to erase the mod. I guess that's the actual, so we'll leave it as is. 156.2. Why are we using reserve fuel here? What's going on, You know what's weird is I can only clear like 2 digits and then it won't let me clear the rest. Let me double check my weights. So we need a estimator. Yeah, 156. That checks. How much fuel do we need? That's all I care about. I need 18.5 on the fuel. Do we have 18.5? We have 18.5 on the fuel. Let's get out of here. Why are we using reserve fuel? It's probably because it's pissed off at my over-conservative reserve numbers. There we go. Let's go 6,000 feet, or 6,000 pounds. That's executed. That looks good. All right, quick perf and it. 156.2, 0 fuel 137.9, cost index of 43, reserves of 6, cruising over there, flight level 320, transition altitude is 18,000 feet. We're doing a 28K, climb 1 takeoff, no D rate. We're doing flaps 5, let's move the CG, 21.9, trim 6.53 units, which is set. We'll use QRH V-speeds on this one, 38, 41, 51. We'll set that up top here, 151. And we'll use VNAV and LNAV off the ground. Wonderful. VNAV, LNAV, 6.5. That is based off of dry runway. Ooh, we're not doing 1,500. What is this? YASA numbers. 5,000, 1,000, 1,000. Oh, 1,500 Excel heights. All right. 1,000, 1,000, 1,000 dry runway, dry numbers. That all looks good. I'm happy with it. You're happy with it. Magic Barrel Ref is reset. Let's go ahead and disconnect ground power and get out of here. I want to hear the start sounds. All right, so ground ceviches. We'll go ahead and get rid of you, get rid of you, get rid of you, get rid of you. Remove the jetway if we can. Let's go ahead and turn the fuel pumps all on for start. We do have center tank fuel. Seatbelt sign is coming on. Anti-collision light is coming on. We are ready for start. Let's run a checklist here, please. Before start checklist, park brake set, oxygen check, navigation transfer, display switches, normal, auto, window heat.
Start now.
Is on. Pressurization, auto and set, terrain display, selected. MCPs, I'm flying, you're coming with me, flight level 320, LNAV, VNAV off the ground, checks. Displays, check, auto brake. RTO, fuel quantity distribution with 18.5 on board. CDU checked, engine start levers, cutoff, transponder, TA, RA. Aileron rudder trim, 00 departure brief, complete, fasten belts on, APUs on, buses, fuel panel set, flight forms AML, onboard accepted aircraft 3 Romeo Hotel. PEDs off. I'm ready for start. Let's go ahead and do this. Pushback unavailable. We'll just do a regular Alt. Oh, insert, towing pin removed. Towing pin remove command sent. Oh, I don't want that. No. Insert towing pin. Insert towing pin. Let's try this. Cockpit to ground, you down there? Ground to cockpit, go ahead. Yeah, everything brake set. We were ready for a pushback straight back. All right, cockpit ground, copy that, stand by. Brakes released. Clear to push. Below the line. Let's do it. Probe heat. Boom. Anti-collision is on. Doors, windows, lights, closed, lights out. Verify our pressure. Looking for 3,000. 2950, that checks. We'll get rid of the system page. I'm flying, we'll flip it over. That looks good to me. All right, before start checklist is complete. Captain Minnesota, thank you for the 9 months, man. Appreciate the support. Says, nice meeting you and Miss V1 at Expo. My man, absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure meeting you, Mr. Minnesota, or Captain Minnesota, rather. Man, you Minnesotans are crazy with that ice fishing stuff. We're hearing ice fishing stories at Zamboni's. Mickey, AJ for nothing for the $3 super chat says Miss V1, Mickey G, and Turk. And Turk pedicures in Las Vegas. I know. Turk bailed on us, and then he was texting me all weekend how sad he was for bailing. I'm like, hey man, that's what you get. That's what you get for, being an Expo ditcher. We had a great time. We had a great time without Turk Heron there. No negativity. Did you guys see the Expo, that picture? Water, do you have it? The fostering a less toxic community. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. And then so there was a slide that they're talking about fostering a less toxic community, and then someone photoshopped Ban Turk. It was great. All right, are we gonna push back today, or what's going on here? I feel like I should have just done an Alt-P pushback. I'm a little bit concerned. What's going on here? get moving. Straight back. Ooh, is that you, Vodka? Sun Country 7-2 over there? I don't know what's going on. Left Alt P. Never fails. Do you need the brake set or something? Maybe they want the brake set. Just push me back, dude. Set distance. Oh, you have to set distance? I don't know. 25 meters?
Minneapolis traffic, American 404, push back in the alley.
Let's go, Chief. Today, please. There is this thing called GSX. No, Jeff, get out of here. Not doing it. Not doing it, Jeff. I never have a problem pushing back. I have never had a pushback problem with Alt P. I screwed up by trying to use a non-Alt P pushback here. Brakes released. Oh, come on. Come on, dude. Go. Am I gonna have to just slew it back? Are you serious? Alright, I know what we're gonna do. We're gonna stop. We're gonna stop all that. I'm gonna use Alt P again, and it's gonna work. Just trying to use the Temu iPad here to push back. Let's just do Alt P like I always do. Connect to the tug, and let's go. Alt P for the win. Look at that. Alt P for the win. Chris says I'll go ahead and install GSX for you. Alt P for the win. See, Jeff? No GSX needed. Miss V1 is in the house. Wait, you're doing the Flightbox Expo? I thought you said it was a 2-hour stream. Oh my gosh, guys, we sat on that for... How long were we on the airplane? 6 hours? 5 hours? Gate return, we'll talk about it in flight. Yeah, we had a full-blown gate return. Lack of urgency. Just, you know... New captain things, I guess. Was a brand new captain, allegedly. Alright, that's fine. We'll just Alt P. We'll stop it right there. Thanks. That's plenty good for me. Push complete, set brakes, Cap. Brake set, clear, disconnect. I know you're long gone. Let's go ahead and start them up. My goodness. Alright, start command. Let's go. Left pack off. Right pack off. And we're going to listen for engine 1 start. Here we go. Grounding 1. Start the chrono. Let's see how she motors. Let's listen to it. Shh. Alright, so let's listen to the motoring. I want to see how long she's going to motor this morning. Engine bleeds on for start? Yes, it is normal. Proby review? Yep, I'm still employed, Turks. I'm still employed, which is crazy, huh? Fuel on. Big stutter there. Shh. Pretty good. That's pretty good. Any reason to start 2 first or 1 first? No, because I did it. I started 1 first on accident. That's all. I should isolate and ventilate and then start 1, but we cooked it. So we're just gonna we're just going to roll with it. Grounding 1, here we go. Yeah, we normally start 2 first, so you can isolate mentally. Can't read and start engines. Come on now. I'm still recovering from Expo. I've had 4 or 5 hours of sleep for the last week. It's been wild. Take it easy. It's his first time with the 7.3. We'll let this one motor for a little bit. Shouldn't motor too long. About 20, 30 seconds. Nice and cool this morning. Should have sent V1 up front, dude. Chris, I was getting ready, dude. I was getting ready to go up front and be like, what are we doing, y'all? What are we doing? That's pretty good, Boris. Definitely been updated a little bit, huh? Definitely been updated. So we'll wait for the EGT light to disappear, or EGT tick mark rather. That indicates a good start, and then we'll go ahead and run through a full after start checklist. So there we go. We got a good start on engine number 2. So now we're going to reconfigure the bleeds. We're going to go auto, auto, off, because we screwed that up, our start sequence. Generators 1, 2 is coming on. APU is coming off. I'm going to pretend we have auto start switches. We're not going to mess with that. We're going to clear the engine. Let's do a flight control check. Flaps 5. Recall's coming at you. 6 + 1 checks. All right, after start checklist, please. Anti-ice. Wrong button. Anti-ice off. Generators on. Air conditioning bleeds. Let's make sure I didn't screw this up. Auto, 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 off. Set. Flaps set. Flight controls checked. Recall checked. After start checklist complete. Oh, look at that bare metal. Minneapolis traffic. America 357 taxi. Runway 30 left via Charlie Alpha. Minneapolis. Taxi lights coming on. Brakes released. Let's get out of here. There was 1 seat left. I didn't get the jump. I actually got to sit next to Miss V1 on both flights. So, Miss V1 is brave. I never ask anybody to move because I'm firmly a believer of, you know, you paid for that seat, that's your seat. And of course, you would never ask someone to move to a lesser seat. But in the example of going back home, I did get the last seat on the aircraft, and it was an exit row. Middle seat, but it was an exit row. And Miss V1 was sitting up a little bit further, like, I don't know what row, but up further, like 5 rows up. And she asked, there was a tall guy in the middle seat, because she had a window. There was a tall guy in the middle, and he's like, hey, you want to go sit in the exit row, middle seat? And he's like, yeah, sure do. So I got to switch seats, and I was not in the jump seat, which was good. Although, I kind of wish I was in the jump seat. What is that, a cabin call? What is this all about?
Hi, Captain. The cabin is now secure for takeoff.
Oh, now that is pretty cool. All right, thank you. Cabin is secure. That's pulling a little something out of Phoenix's Phoenix playbook there. This little Phoenix playbook. All right, we are clear on the right. Clear left. I'm just going to follow this guy. Can I get rid of the EFB?
Approaching 1, 2, right.
Nope, we're not getting on 1, 2 right there. Rops. Can you hide the EFB at all, or is it always on? Oh, cool. Oh, nope, not cool. I was wondering if you could just hide the EFB. was in the DFW ground stop delay, or was it just a mess happening with your flight? Sam, so yeah, we taxied out, and we knew there was going to be a delay as we were actually, yeah, as we taxied out, we got a ground stop, so we went and sat in the holding pad on the north side. We sat there for 45 minutes. Then they said, hey, ground stop lifted. We're going to be airborne in 5 minutes. And I looked at msfs1 and I said, I'll believe it when I see it. Because I'm looking at all the tracks going into Dallas, and they're just the holds are stacked up like 20 deep. And we start taxiing out. They take their sweet time, to get to the runway. We are number 1 for departure, ready to go. And I hear engine shut down. And I'm like, that ain't good. And sure enough, they come back and say, hey, there's another ground stop update in an hour. We're going to taxi back to the gate. And I told msfs1, I'm like, man, why are they so happy? Why do they want to get back to the gate so fast? We taxi right back to the gate. As soon as we get to the gate, they say ground stop has actually been canceled, so we're going to just do some paperwork. We'll turn around and go back. But then, of course, you're already at the gate, so that's a whole 30, 45 minutes to get the aircraft back off the gate. So then we taxi back out off the gate, get air. But we took off, I think, what, 2-3 hours late? I'm not sure, but I'm lagging out because Blackbird Controls just dropped a 20 gifted membership. Mr. Blackbird Controls, my man, thank you so much, dude, for the 20 gifted Blackbird Control memberships to the channel. We are using the Blackbird levers today. That's what you are looking at on the Honeycomb Bravo. I wouldn't fly a 737 without my Blackbird levers, man. So thank you so much, Blackbird. Hey, dude, maybe, what are you thinking about Expo next year in Vegas, Blackbird Controls? A little bit closer to your neck of the woods, maybe? It'd be awesome to meet you at Expo, man. Oh, I'm happy to announce Chris PT6 is also the going to be the latest Brunner profile tester. Team Vodka got Chris PT6 a few extra drinks and then convinced him to buy the Brunner. So we're going to have a contest. We're going to see whose profiles are better, mine or Vodka's. Turkaren says, remember to pay attention to the flight directors during initial climb, especially when LNAV engages. Okay, he's saying there's some funky behavior, Turk. I will take a look at it. I don't know why this aircraft's pulling to the right on me. Maybe I think my rudder was a little bit out of whack. Gus Rodriguez. What's up, buddy? How you doing, Gus? Gus, I'm happy to announce for you. I saw that 707 wing view video. I 100% Gus, guaranteed, no questions about it. As soon as that thing is flyable, early access or not, I will be back at X-Plane 12 to fly that 707. I don't care how good or how bad it is. The wing model and texturing alone, I'm going to be in X-Plane 12. We're going to take a look at that 707, dude. I was blown away. Holy roach. Another one? Hold on, Jim.
Yeah, let's try back.
Golly.
Forward line up, runway 30 left.
It's on my desk and like dropped onto my knee. My goodness. Alright. At least it was a small one. We had rain yesterday, chat. I told you, anytime we get rain. Oh, I thought I set the brake. Holy. You have controls. That was not a positive exchange of flight controls there. Hit the like button for smashing roaches. Let's do a before takeoff checklist, shall we? Alright. Let's recover ourselves here. Takeoff data and bugs. Alright, closeout received and checked. Flaps. 5, green light. Stab trim. 6.5 units. Set. Takeoff briefs complete. HUD. In-op. Generators. On. Air conditioning bleeds. Auto and set. MCP ND. We're going off runway 30 left. We're actually going to be on a heading of, let's fly heading, well, we're going to do it like we do in the real airplane. We're going to set 301. We'll give ourselves a vector on departure. All right. MCP ND checked, runway 30 left. PA's complete. Lights are set. Before takeoff checklist is complete. Well, it's interesting. We have the spinner on this engine, but not on that engine. Look at the detail on the tires there. That's pretty cool. want to go? Or you want me to go?
You can go ahead. I'm going to be 0.8.
Oh, fancy you. Minneapolis traffic, American 357, going to line up runway 30 left. And because I know it's not an auto and there's a bunch of you that are going to get triggered, I'll turn those on. Just for you guys. Yeah, I think I'm getting that stutter on the ground. That's just my scenery. Nice little wing flex there. Should just say takeoff data and roaches from now on. Ryan, my man, thank you for the $5 super chat. I might have to. We might need a roach emoji. If we get one more of those suckers, we're gonna need one. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate you, bud. Thank you for $5 super chat. Takeoff data and roaches confirmed.
Minneapolis traffic, American 404, 4.5. Turning left. 270, last call.
Alright, so he's out of here. We got our range ring for the 3,500 feet at or above. We'll give him another 5 seconds and we'll blast off. I'm going to be on the takeoff page. This guy's going to be on the legs page. We're ready. Alright, sounds up. Yoga's in chat. Our first ever takeoff with the new iFly service pack update. Let's take a look at the 7.2 because it looks better. Scenery looks mid. Minneapolis traffic, American 357, departing runway 30 left. Spool them up. Yoga's in chat. Like button smash for Expo debrief in cruise. Here we go. Yoga. Oh, that's nasty. Thrust set. Get a lot of right rudder. 80. Get a lot of right rudder.
V1.
Rotate. Positive brake, gear up. Fly with. Real quiet outside. There's the D rate. American 357, turn left, heading 270. 270, heading select. Minneapolis traffic, American 357 out of 2,700. We're in the left turn. Westbound, last call, MSP. Flaps 1. Flaps up. After takeoff. The wing looks so much better. The wing looks so much better. American 357, continue left turn, heading 240. Alright, sounds are coming down. So we can hear ourselves think. Karen is complaining about the flight director. I haven't really seen anything too crazy yet, Turk. Other than maybe it's a little bit slow to react to where it should go, maybe. We'll see. We'll get a direct 2 here in the box. Let's do up and after. After takeoff checklist. Let's go auto brake off. Gear is up. Pressurization, APU, anti-ice is off. We'll get these off. Cabin's climbing. After takeoff checklist complete. Let's go ahead and give us a direct 2. Let's go legs. Direct journey. execute LNAV. I feel like it flies a bit more responsive. Like there was less of a deadband in rotation too. That's the speed trim working. You feel that? Look at this. That wasn't me trimming. Look, if I let go of the yoke, is speed trim model now? Or was my trim running away? That was weird. And now my trim wheel doesn't have sounds. Oh, now it does. Interesting. Why would my trim dump nose low? It almost felt like an MCAS, dude. Captain Shack. The trim dumped nose low there for a minute. Fuel, my aircraft, center tanks, coming off. I'm not sure what that was all about. All right, let's go Command A. Autopilot's on. Let's go ahead and around 10,000 feet. We'll get those. We'll get these. I still don't like that I can't click those switches. You got to mouse wheel them. All right, we're at a 12.2 for 320. I believe that's Funari up there in front of us. I didn't see anything wrong with the flight director, honestly, Turk here. But the deadband felt gone when I rotated. That was the first thing I noticed, is it felt too responsive on rotation. Felt too responsive on rotation. All right, let's go back to full screen. Why my pitch command trims nose low? Final words of the Max driver. It's not even funny, man. I'm funny. To this day, dude, every time, even in the NG, when I hear the trim wheel start to run, after like 3 spins, I immediately start looking at it like, what's going on?
646 left turn, heading 200 past 10,000 left.
Is that responsiveness accurate, you'd say, to the real British? I mean, Reset Jet, I'm going to be honest with you, man. The flight model, I don't know what they changed with the flight model on Service Pack 1, but before Service Pack 1, I thought the airplane flew beautifully with my Brunner. And remember, I'm using a specific profile that I've had for this airplane, so that hasn't changed. So I don't know if I have to change my profile a little bit, because it almost feels... I don't know. I'm going to hand fly it a little bit more. Let me hand fly it on approach. I'll do the approach, I'll hand flow, and we'll come down, we'll take a look at it. But I will say, though, that deadband should go back. It was too responsive on rotation. As soon as I touched the yoke, she just wanted to come up. So I feel like that deadband should still be there, because it used to have a nice deadband. Delta fan in the house. What's going on, man? Good to see you, dude. They did not have a Brunner there. They did not have a Brunner there, no. Moza, we'll talk about Moza. I did get some contact information from Moza. I'm going to shoot them some emails probably later today. I did meet the chief Moza guy. Thanks to XP72. He hooked me up. But speaking of Expo and Moza, I was actually a little bit disappointed in the Moza, on the Moza floor. Like, I thought there would be, my biggest thing with Moza, I thought by now we would have detachable, where's the thing I'm looking for? I guess I just need this one. The detachable grip, because they spent all that time making the detachable Moza handle, but I thought by now they'd have, you know, a 7.3 grip or like a 172 grip or a premium grip. Now I did see there was somebody there as we go through transition. Standards are set once, twice, and thrice. We'll get the logo off and the wing light off. There was somebody there that was making a third-party grip, but I didn't actually get to see that. I must have missed it when I was there. So, but that I'm a little bit disappointed that Moza doesn't have that by now, because I think that would have been one of the major selling points for that Moza game. Which cockpit seats are better? Airbus, no doubt, and no doubt, dude. Not even a question. Show of hands, who picked up the Octavi IFR1? Joe Plains, Tout Ray. Dude, I was so close to picking it up, man. I went over to that booth like 4 times. So it was that one, or what's the other one here? Hold on. This guy, SimFlight from Virtual Fly, the Rot Air, the Rotary Air, and Pulse Air autopilot panels for Garmin 3000 and 5000. And I was very close to buying those until I found out you needed 4 USB ports for one hardware. If you mount it all together, the 4 separate units, you needed 4 USBs. I'm like, I need 4 additional USBs. I already have a 12-port powered external hub plus the 12 slots on my PC, and they're all used already. So I would have to dongle or daisy chain another powered USB hub off of another powered USB hub to just run autopilot panel. So I'm still tempted. We'll see. I wonder if anybody else in the chat picked one of those up. Did you check out the Airbus overhead panel? I did. I am absolutely floored. I'm gonna turn the sim down a little bit more. Is that all right? We can all listen to it. I guess we'll get it. We got a lot of Expo to talk about. So airplane is doing airplane things. Chris has control. Chris PT6 has control of his new 7.3 type because he's gonna come fly with me. Or not. Maybe I'll be putting in apps. I don't know, Chris. You guys, Chris, it was so fun, man. I'm glad our significant others, they seem to hit it off too, man. They had a lot of fun. Can't wait for Vegas, dude. What was I saying? Oh yeah, overhead panel, dude. The wind control Airbus overhead panel for 300. There's no competition. I know we have a ton of other companies trying to make panels for the Airbus, which I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm a little bit tired of all the Airbus. It seems like everybody wants to make Airbus stuff now. Like everybody's making the same thing, but they're all Airbus. But the wind control overhead panel, full size, it's an incredible price point, $300 and something for a full-size overhead panel. I went and messed around with the buttons. That was my biggest concern right out of the gate. I went, how does it feel tactile? And for the price point, it's good. It's not necessarily 100% what the real aircraft feels like. There's a little bit more tactile tackiness on the real overhead panel, right? It's not just these lighter. There's significant button presses and stuff, but it is definitely not worth increasing price over. What Wind Control has done with that overhead panel is 100% sufficient. It's an absolute amazing price. For me personally, I don't know. I don't know where I would even put. I don't know how I would mount it. So, you know, if it was a full-size Boeing overhead panel, I would probably figure it out because, you know, this is my other thing. The Airbus is great, but I don't know if I would invest the time necessarily and configuration change to figure out how to mount that above my head, because real-world Airbus overhead panel manipulation is minimal compared to the 7.3. If I'm going to buy an overhead panel, I want to be using it every flight, and I want to be doing a lot of stuff with it, right? So a 737 overhead panel, you're going to interact with a whole lot more than an Airbus overhead panel. Not to say it's not cool, and it, you know, if you're building two dedicated setups, I know XP72, he's got two, which I may end up having to figure out how to do. You know, I may end up just having to bite the bullet and set up, you know, a dedicated 737 panel and then a generic panel or like desk setup, because we're getting to that point now where Wind Control is putting out these pieces of hardware that you can make your own home cockpit for prices that no one ever thought was going to be possible. So I appreciate what they're doing. I think for the money, what they put out, it's 100% the same. I mean, it's yeah, there's no negative to it. I mean, you're paying $300 and something for a full-size overhead panel. The feel and quality of the panel meets and exceeds their price points with everything that they've released so far. Like, there's that. That's just it. That's it. But yeah, it's pretty sweet. Press mask on the center panel. It'll do headset mode. Press view and press mask on the center panel. Mask. What? Press the mask button. What's a mask button? Oh. We just turned on our Bose A20s. Who was that? Whoever said that, thank you, man. McShack Oatmeal, dude. Hey, chat. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking with our actual audio. Very cool. Thanks, dude. AJ, thanks for $3 super chat. You just need to send vodka down to V1 HQ. I know, man. Well, gosh, I was hoping that it was going to be Dallas. I heard some potential rumors that it might be Dallas, but let's talk about Vegas for a second. I know they're excited about Vegas because of the price point. That was the thing. Like, we haven't seen prices this low for another venue since before COVID. There's a reason for that. Ain't nobody want to go to Vegas in June and July. 40C. Plus, Vegas is dying anyway. No one wants to go to Vegas in general anymore. Nashville's the new Vegas. Everyone needs to go hit up BKG Blueface out there in Nashville. Nashville is the new Vegas. So, Vegas is dead to me. But I'll probably somehow make it work if I can get the time off. Hopefully by next year, I'll have a little bit more control over my schedule. Like this year, it worked out good, scheduling wise. But I am not looking forward to 40C in Vegas. It'd be like 44C. Like people are like, oh, it'll be 40C. I'm like, it'd be like 44, bro. It's gonna be hot. I've been to Vegas in August. It was intense. Yeah. Evan had on Vegas socks during his opening remarks. I know. So we're going to have to pay close attention to next year for little hints about what Evan might be doing when it comes to the next year's Expo or when we're in Vegas. I was really hoping for Dallas, though. Even Fort Worth, I feel like you could find some decent. There's a lot more aviation history, I think. You got the American Museum. You got the Southwest Museum. Surely you can find some nice hotels in the Fort Worth area. That'll be perfect size. I mean, it's going to be a little bit more expensive than Vegas, but that's because you're not going to be going to every single hotel filled with smoke and casinos. My dream, I was thinking about this yesterday. My dream is if they do ever have a Dallas Expo, we'll set up a little V1 Dallas Expo experience. We'll all do like branded cowboy hats, because I was talking to someone. I give credit to where credit is due. I don't remember who said it, but we were there. I think we were at Zamboni's, or maybe we were at the hotel lobby bar, and we were talking about shirts or merch, and someone said a branded cowboy hat. So you can actually brand it without catching the whole hat on fire, but put a V1 brand on we'll go get custom hats and all that stuff. Be cool. That's my dream if there's ever a Dallas Expo. But anyway, let's go ahead and let the people up. Seatbelts up. You're now free to move about the cabin. Let's go ahead and take a vibe out here on Wingview. Was Bluebird at Expo? Dalton, there was a Bluebird representative there. I didn't see him. But Bluebird themselves, as far as the actual company, no, they weren't there. Just one guy walking around. Should do Seattle, Contour, Boeing. Another one, Shaq. Seattle would be great. Absolutely. I think Seattle would be epic, Shaq. But I can imagine Seattle's pretty expensive. And remember, what Evan was saying for Expo in terms of locations is they really are trying to find that niche, the right size venue, because too small for a lot of the major venues, but you got to be big enough, right, for FS Expo venue, and then you got to find the pricing. You can't price people out of showing up, right, because people are spending a lot of money and time traveling out there. So I can understand it's a difficult balance for Evan finding the locations. I'm just like, I mean, there's a reason Vegas is so cheap. A V1 Expo in the future, that would be cool. Friction Mafia, that would be cool. But yeah, I'm definitely going to make every intention possible to get to the Vegas Expo. I think it'll be fun. Let's talk about the Expo floor. For those of you that were there for Providence and for Minneapolis, what do you rate the Expo? What do you rate them in terms of the show floor. From the Providence floor, I'm going to say, since Providence was my first expo, if Providence is an A, in my opinion, just because it was the only one I'd been to, what would you grade the St. Paul Expo show floor if you were at both? Because I've got some thoughts on that too. But I will say the Grinelli Designs booth, so those of you that are in DCS, Turkare, and I know if Evan was there, man, he would have been going nuts. So they had a blimp and a smoke show and everything going on, but they had a flight team essentially that were all flying formation. What was it? 5 of them, 6 of them. They were pretty. It was pretty cool, man. It was a pretty cool booth, especially if you're into the DCS and the Super Sabre and things like that. That was a very cool booth. Wasn't Bluebird going to be a 2025 release, Rough Landing? It was, yes, but then there was some issues with the new sim and then updates and then I think, Sim Update 5 slowed some things down, but I said this from the beginning. I had wished and had hoped that when 2024 released, that Bluebird at that moment would have just committed to a 2024 product. Now, obviously, they have their own business decisions and they know how far along they are internally. I have no internal knowledge of what's going on at Bluebird. But if you think back to the AnyBuilds A350 release and how much of a challenge that was for AnyBuilds to release on 2 sims and the headaches it caused, I feel like, I'm not saying that's what's happening with Bluebird, but I just feel like when you try to, you're essentially making 2 airplanes at that point, right? Because you're developing it in one sim, then you got to test it in the other sim. If it doesn't quite work in the other sim, you got to fix it in that sim specifically. So I feel like that's got to be a little bit of a headache. But from what we've seen in terms of previews and release, it is wrapping up. It is getting close to being released. I, for one, am looking forward to it. I mean, that's pretty much, if we get the PMDG 741 this year, and we get the 75 this year, on top of all the corporate jets we've got, on top of the other old school stuff that we've already got, retro stuff, possibly Fokkers 70 and 100s coming out. I mean, it would be a hell of a year to wrap up 2026 with aircraft releases. But who knows? There's a lot that can happen, right? Grinelli is awesome. He literally started in DCS as a free community mod. Love that he's an official dev now. Yeah, I totally agree, Flight Sim guy. I mean, I don't do much DCS anymore just for time purposes. If I had all the time in the world, man, I totally would stay in DCS, do some more DCS stuff. But it's time consuming, man. I say X-Plane is a lot of work to maintain. DCS is that on steroids. Not necessarily the sim that you have to maintain, but your proficiency within the sim and the aircraft that you fly, if you want to be good at the aircraft that you fly. So personally, I'm kind of competitive. So when I get on multiplayer, I don't want to get shot down. I want to be competitive. And if you want to be a competitive DCS flyer, you've got to be proficient in the jet that you're flying. And the only way that you stay proficient is to keep flying. So it just comes back to the time thing for me. Captain Corndog, when we buy that King Air for the business plan. Maybe next year we'll have an update. I do have, can I show it on stream here, Captain Corndog? It was a pleasure meeting you again, man. So Captain Corndog, being a 747 connoisseur, I didn't realize this, but when United had their last flight of the 747, it was the send-off tribute. He was actually on that flight, and he took some classic buttons, and he gave me one. I chose the Battleship Gray, but this button flew on the retirement flight of the 747, the last operating 747-400 in the United States passenger service. So, a very cool little piece of history that I'm going to hang on to, and I'm going to have it displayed here soon when I finish up the rest of my HQ with some stuff on some remodeling. And actually, I've already been thinking about how I'm resetting my HQ for a podcast section I'm really thinking now about setting up 2 PCs, one for a 7.3 and then one for a generic sim. But there's a lot of thought that has to go in that, because then I got to look at the type of hardware and double buy hardware. I need 2 Bravos, or I need another, you know. But I'm trying to reset stuff so I can be the most efficient possible when I come to the HQ to make content for y'all. Got to be getting close to knowing your purgatory release date, right? Can't keep track of that stuff since the website got hacked. I know, Turks. I mean, the bid closed on what, 2 days ago? It's going to be a few weeks, I imagine, right, before they release it. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that. I'm definitely looking forward to getting out of purgatory. But the meeting went well, man. Turks, the meeting went well. I had to explain my commuter miss, because of course, you know, I get a commuter miss like 2 days before my last commute prior to my review. I get a commuter miss. But I was on the jet, man. I was on the jet for like 4 hours. We showed up 4 hours late. I'm like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Have a piece of the CGUAN, the 7.6 that many know as the Gimli. Oh yeah, I know the Gimli glider. That's very cool, Prodigist. Very cool. Double the things you'd have to update. Water, I'm gonna have to like fly you out, and you're gonna have to be like an HQ update manager, man. Gonna have to have Water be full-time updater. Is there an updated cabin tour? Let's take a look. Should we take a little look at the cabin? Oh wow. Turn off our noise canceling. Chief accepted, or they try to pretend a computer? No, he accepted. He was totally cool, man. I heard so one chief there is not cool at all with that stuff. But I had the chief that was. He didn't even blink twice. He just wanted to know what happened. And I was like, do you really want to know what happened? Because the story's pretty amazing. You're going to think I'm lying to you. But I actually had screenshots. It all started when the captain wrote up the inertial separator, or the inertial retraction system of the seatbelt was too slow. And then that turned into one thing to another thing to another thing, that eventually turned into a 2-hour wait for catering, that eventually turned into an ECAM before takeoff, that eventually turned into a closing all eastbound departures. So, but it was cool, man. It was a good experience. Everything was good. No issues whatsoever. I actually got to meet the CFO. He popped in, and the COO, I believe, were both there doing some base tours. So, some pretty powerful people. Got to hang out with. Very cool dudes. Got to talk to them. So, good experience. And a perfect timing, dude. I literally flew in. I might have been a little risky with my commute in. Like, it was a 10:30 show. I mean, I got in plenty early. I got in at 9. But I literally got in at 9, grabbed a coffee, went up, did my review. They got me out right on time to catch my flight home. Literally walked out of the review downstairs, right to the gate, got on, came home. So, it's pretty cool. My neck is still sore from trying to enjoy the windows on the on the 700. Yeah, dude. Oh, so speaking of window seats, did you guys see the one I posted in the Discord? So this was funny. So Miss V1 said, I got a window seat, you know, so if that guy moves, well, because I was in the exit row, you want to come sit next to me, you can sit in the window seat. I'm like, okay. So when we swap seats, and I go up to Miss V1's window seat, was it this row? So I think it was like row, it might have been, I think it was row 12. Actually, this is it, row 11. This is it. This is literally where I sat. So here I am, window seat. This was my view, guys. No joke. I posted it in the Discord right here. And to boot, we need to make a public service announcement. On that flight, on my flight home yesterday, there was not a single window open anywhere around me. From 3 rows, 4 rows forward, on both sides, behind me, nobody had a window shade open. I thought I was going to have a freaking panic attack. I don't understand why you guys pay for window seats and everybody keeps the windows shut. you know, in flight, it's one thing, I don't care, but when you're like getting pushed backwards, and then you're like getting left and right, like I get disoriented. I'm a pilot. I need to see a reference. Even if I could just see a sliver, like all I need is just, if I can just see a sliver right there, I'm like, okay, I know what I'm 100% oriented, you know? And it's actually kind of fascinating because this plays into level D sims. So as you gain experience in the airplane, or just in any aircraft, they say the more flight time you have in the real airplanes, the worse your motion sickness becomes in level D simulation. For some people, not everybody. Some people are just, they could do whatever. It doesn't bother them. But for a lot of guys, the more experience you have in the aircraft, the worse level D sims come, the worse sitting with the window shades becomes, because we are always trained to trust our instruments, right? So you're trained not to listen to your inner ear. So when you're forced to listen to your inner ear as a pilot, which is something that you've been ignoring your whole career because you know your inner ear can fool you, it puts you in this weird, like, state of mind, like, all right, my inner ears are telling me we're going backwards, but I can't see, but I don't want to listen to my inner ear, but I don't know what's going on. It's just this weird battle. So for me, even in the level D simulators, taxiing on the ground makes me so motion sick, and it never used to. I used to love getting in the full motion sim when I was, you know, at the regional days, or like my first ever type rating when I was in a full motion sim. I didn't have one iota of motion sickness on the ground. But now taxiing, I close my eyes when we do RTOs pretty much, like, or when we make a 90-degree turn, I like look at the PFD heading bug and I'm just kind of like, all right, is this close enough? Like, or parking at the gate, I never like ease on the brakes. I literally just go up to the gate and I like just slam it and I look down, I cover my eyes. Like, I can't do this taxiing on the ground thing in the sim. It drives me nuts. But I get the same sensation when I'm sitting in the back, the cabin, and everybody's got their window shades closed. Why do you pay for a window seat and I understand if the sun is coming in, it's super hot. Okay, yeah, we'll keep it closed, you know, for a little bit. But as the aircraft starts to taxi out, you know, maybe just crack it a little bit. Or when the airplane turns around and you're no longer in the sun, just crack it a little bit. Now, in cruise, you're trying to sleep. Totally get it. Totally understand. It's hot. A lot of times the sun reflects off the wings. It's super bright. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, like, for takeoff and landing, every single person and their brother has window shades closed. Like, even for the takeoff roll, like, if you've had it closed the whole taxi, don't you want to see the takeoff? Don't you want to see what's happening? The magic of flight? Why are you in a window seat if you don't want to see that? So, I don't know. That's my little spiel on the window seat. So any of you that are sitting in the window seats, keeping the window shades closed. It's like the equivalent of having long sleeve pilot shirts without tattoos to cover up. Serial killers. Ooh, check out this laboratory. Oh, is there water in the bowl? Or is it just a reflection? Oh yeah, it's just a reflection. Oh, I like that. It automatically closes the lid when you flush it, as it should. Love it. I can't believe we're testing laboratories. They actually have the reflection here pretty... Is that an actual reflection? Or is that... No. This is tripping me out. Is it just a texture? Or it kind of looks like a reflection. Baby... They even have the baby changing table simulated. So we can come here and change Turk's diaper because he's complaining about going to Expo, and then he just complains about not being at Expo. He's a crybaby for not coming to Expo. Pretty nice cabin update. Pretty nice cabin update too. Lav glazer. Count me on lav glazer. Let's head back up front. This guy in his toilet sim planes. Hey, Ron, what's up, man? Good to see you, dude. He says, was flying out of an airport recently that required windows closed during takeoff for security reasons. Well, that is interesting. Can you tell us what airport they're in? Or, like, where? Oh, my gosh, this works, too? Wow. That's a lot of simulation. Now isn't there like a flight attendant simulator? I'm surprised they don't have, look, the whole model is wrong. They don't have the phone holders. They don't have the phone holders. The whole model is wrong. Let's see if we can, where was my seat on the way there? I think we were 13, or no, 18? I think we were 18F. Yeah, I think we're right here. So that picture on the countdown stream, that's where we were. Right here. What happened? Let me zoom. Let me make this smaller. That was at flaps 30 though on landing. We'll have to ID it at landing. Plus that's an NG, not a max. This picture was taken to MSP, and we're NG. Look at that flap dirt. For all my livery painters out there, if you need dirty flap references, look at that. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. All right, back up front. Let's see how everything's going on up here. Let's take a look at the prog page. Oh, jeez. We got all day to go. All day. Let's take a seat back here. Flap juice, Nabil. I know it, man. I know it. Looks like the real image is from run row back. Let me check my... I want to see what seat that was, and then I will go there for landing. And then we'll compare. I'm going to have to do it from the NG. Do I have a record of it? It wouldn't be trips. Doesn't show me past trips. Hmm. $17E. I think it was 17. Oh, the one on Final Travel Planner? Yeah. We need an NG stream later today. You know what? I think we're only going to do one stream today. We shall see. I wanted to do two. I wanted to fire up Jet Card. Oh, I got to meet Sean from Jet Card, who was awesome. Got a shirt for myself and also for Miss V1. The baby changing tables where they store the crew meals with the new secondary boundary, our barrier. I know, Turks, that things, it kind of grosses me out, dude. I can't believe it. Noise canceling headphones and blasted music, no more problemo for me besides his man spreading. His man spreading. Oh, I had a dad with a mom and a newborn infant next to me on the way home, and he was an absolute tool towards her and his kids, all because he had to go to the bathroom right before they were boarding. Oh, wow. That's unfortunate. Yeah, we had there was a young infant behind us on the way back, but did all right for being on the airplane for 5 hours. What about Ellie from Vector? I did not meet or see Ellie from Vector. That is one booth or one of the few booths I never got up to see. I saw all the pictures and everything, though, from what they released. It looks good. I mean, again, I want to see it in the sim operating. I didn't get to see it there at Expo. Was it actually, did they have it in the sim at Expo? I didn't get to see the Vector booth. Laminar was, X-Plane was at the Expo Friction Mafia, not Austin. It was, I can't remember, Mark, maybe? There were two gentlemen there, representative of X-Plane. Speaking of X-Plane 12, and I'm going to lead into Virtual Fly. So I went to the Virtual Fly booth, which I've talked to Virtual Fly on emails before. They were in production of a Quadrant that I was super interested in. Unfortunately, and I thought it was going to be a Bravo replacement. Unfortunately, they've canceled that, or I think the distributor is no longer going to be doing, is going to do it. Something happened where they're not going to make that Quadrant anymore, or they're not going to make it at all, rather. So I have talked to Virtual Fly before, but I was excited to see some of their products, and they actually had, I think it's a force feedback yoke that's in development, and Chris PT6 was flying a traffic pattern in LaGuardia with this force feedback yoke and the G1000s from Virtual Fly, and the monitor was X-Plane 12. And I'll be honest with you, the X-Plane 12 graphics in that blue hour sunset, though, coming across the water, it definitely gave Microsoft a run for its money. It looked very, very good. The yoke itself, I mean, it was a really high quality feeling yoke. It was wrapped in leather, had some good switches on it, but you know, it wasn't ready for prime time yet in terms of force feedback. You know, the trim forces and everything were all off. And let's talk about, since we're talking about that yoke, we'll talk about the rest of the force feedback market that I saw there, because this expo, for me in particular, I'm very interested in force feedback yokes from all these different companies. So I looked as many as I could. So the Virtual Fly one is, in terms of the grip itself, amazing. They got a long way to go in terms of, I think, the software and how it's going to interface with the sim. One thing to know about force feedback and in the simulators, whatever sim that you're going to run it in, it's not so much about how nice the yoke feels to move around when it's stationary, or, you know, just how nice it feels, what's the finishes on it. That does matter, but what the key component for any force feedback hardware is going to be the software that you interface with, or that you use, that interfaces with the sim. And that's where I think that, Virtual Fly, it's not even out yet. It's still early product. But I'm very interested to see where they go, because of all the yokes that I saw at Expo, the Virtual Fly one looked like it had some serious potential in terms for my specific setup. If I wanted a high quality yoke in the future that was force feedback, that's a push-pull, it has potential. I would choose that over the Moza in its current state. We'll get to wind control here in a minute, because I'm going to finish on the wind wing floor yoke, which I did fly a pattern with it. I got to experience it. We'll get to that here in a second. I'll give you all my thoughts on that. So Virtual Fly has a yoke coming up. I'm interested. I may actually try to contact them again and maybe see if I can help them out with how they're interfacing stuff with the sim, and maybe in the future you might end up seeing it on the channel. I have no idea, but I was impressed with the quality of the actual piece of hardware. Still got a way to go. Chris PT6, like I said, yeah, I gave him a check ride. He was flying it. He was flying the yoke. He was coming into LaGuardia, and I just walked up to him and I pulled his mixture idle cut off. But he did it right. I mean, the Gulfstream pilot that he is, man, he pitched for glide, just no problem at all. Flew it right down, greased it. So that's Virtual Fly. Going to Moza. Went over to the Moza booth. Straight honesty, I was a little disappointed in what they had on the, I don't know, like, it just seemed like, I say disappointed. It wasn't as crazy as it was at Providence. I feel at the Providence Expo they had a lot more people there. They were still a little bit more new, so I think they had the hardware, you know, the newness was still very apparent, and everyone was very excited about the hype. The few Moza setups that they had available to use was the same thing from last year. The AB6 was there. I did get to mess around with the AB6 a little bit. One thing I learned about the AB6 is the feeling of the gearing inside of the base. I sometimes referred to as cogging, kind of maybe some grinding feel. It's not that butter smooth feel that you get with the AB9, but I also can't confirm if that's not something that you can tweak out with the profile that you're using. The profile that they had set up for the Airbus on the AB6 was fine, but it was not at all what the actual Airbus base feels like. Now the AB9, with my profile that we've made for the Airbus, if I closed my eyes, I would have no idea what's the real Airbus side stick versus the Moza AB9 side stick, because it's all about the software and it's all about the profile that you create in the software to get the most realistic experience. And again, Team Vodka, he's a huge help with all that. I give him the ideas, he does the math on it, and I just do the, what does it feel like part of it, because how many times we talked about it on this channel in terms of airplanes. You can math an airplane to death, but if it feels and flies like crap, it's not realistic. Even though the numbers may match up exactly to what the book says, at some point you got to blend math and technicalities with just how does it feel in the sim, right? So, Moza, that was at AB6. In terms of if you wanted a dedicated Airbus side stick, though, the AB6 would probably be just fine. It's much smaller than the AB9. You don't have as much Newton force and resistance on the AB6. But again, if you're using it just for the Airbus or maybe some light GA flying, you're probably going to be just fine. If you're heavy into DCS or, you're heavy into force feedback with whatever airplane, maybe you do aerobatics, something like that, you're probably going to want to lean towards the AB9 just because you're going to get the additional forces. With our current profile that we have for the Airbus, we do not exceed the forces that the AB6 can produce. So just keep that in mind as you go down the force feedback profile. And it's important to note, as Team Vodka said, the AB9 profile that we have does not work on the AB6. So unless I have an AB6 next to me to make it be exactly like the AB9, you won't be able to just copy the AB9 profile that we have for Airbus and put it on your AB6. It may be a good starting point, but you probably have to create a profile from scratch for the AB6. But that's, again, I don't know how that would work because I don't have the AB6. I have the AB9. Same software, though. Same software. Moving to the yoke from Moza, Alpha Yankee 210 or whatever, I have the same feeling about it this year as I did last year. It seems like it can be great. They need to work more with the software about how it interfaces with the sim, and also, which has come a really long way, but I still have questions. I would need one in my possession to really be like, hey, y'all, this is worth spending your money on. I can make it feel realistic. I'm not saying it doesn't, and I'm not saying it does. It's just I really haven't had enough one-on-one time to determine what is it going to be the hype train seller that I want it to be, because I really enjoy the Moza software program over the Brunner program, which is what my Brunner yoke uses. Brunner uses CLS to sim. Moza uses Moza Cockpit, their own proprietary software, and it's much easier to use their software than CLS to sim. But the Alpha Yankee 210 yoke I have the same feelings I had last year. Still have questions. It could be great. I'm not sure if it's great. What would have made it a lot better, like I hit on at the beginning of this video, if they would have started introducing new yoke grips by now, right? They have that detachable clip, but we haven't seen any official grips to interchange on your Moza. We don't have a dedicated Boeing grip. We don't have like a 172 grip, or just I feel like you could really swing someone over the edge if you could get some swappable and new grips that were just plug and play with the Moza. I think that is an awesome feature of Moza, having a detachable grip to the yoke, and I haven't seen anybody with force feedback yokes have that yet. So anytime any other company that you buy a force feedback yoke from, you're going to be stuck with that particular grip unless you buy another yoke. So, if they had that, I might be more inclined to be like, yeah, this is going the right direction. But I still don't know. I just don't know, and I know force feedback is expensive, so I don't want to say something that, triggers someone to spend their hard-earned money on a piece of hardware and then be disappointed with it. And I'm not affiliated with Moza by any means. Slightly I was. They sent me an AB9 years ago, or when it first came out. But I only started really, showing you how good it was once I determined it was actually that good, because I know it's expensive. And the one thing I would absolutely hate for me to do is like I said, say something and then someone spends their hard-earned money on a piece of hardware, and same goes with airplanes, with software too, and you guys be disappointed with it. So I don't want that to happen, so I'm just kind of keeping my opinions reserved on the Moza yoke for now. The next yoke I saw was the wind control. All right, wind control, Boeing yoke, the floor-mounted yoke. I messed with it at the Providence Expo. At the Providence Expo, the wind control yoke felt like it had a ton of potential to be absolute game-changing for all things yoke-driven aircraft. It was a standalone floor-mounted yoke. Now, their newest version is still mounted to the floor, but they have this interesting rod and piston mounted to the back of the yoke that does push-pull into the desk mount at the same time. Is there a video? Let me see where XP's is. I know XP has put some videos out. I'm not gonna copyright them. I just wanted to get an image. I should have taken some of my own, but I was just so amazed by everything. If you want, and XP did a full review on the yoke, so I encourage you to go over to his video. Here we go, perfect, and watch it. Make sure you check his video out in full after this, but this will give you an idea of what I'm talking about. So if you see, let me make it bigger. You see this piston here? A damper guide? I don't know the purpose of that. I don't know if it, I know there is a purpose, because they obviously needed one. I don't know if it was because the sheer amount of force that they're trying to replicate needed an additional guide to the yoke. But what I will tell you is this dampener really changed the feeling of the yoke from last year. Last year, it was floor-mounted, standalone, and and the way it was working last year, there was a gentleman there with a panel, and he would adjust the forces of the yoke with his little control knob, so you could get an idea of what was happening. So that felt like it had a lot of potential. This, when I flew it in the sim, it was linked to the pmdg 737. I did a lap in the pattern with it. I'm going to be straight honest with you guys. I was not impressed. And remember, I'm comparing this to the actual NG 737 floor-mounted yoke. Again, this is still a prototype. It's not the final product. So the forces in the sim did not match up with what the yoke should be doing. So again, this is probably a lot of software related issues that I was feeling. I wouldn't say issues, but basically the yoke didn't react the way I wanted it to react in the sim, because I think the software and the profile and however they're running it is just not proficient yet. And it shouldn't be. It's still a prototype, right? They're still actually working on the yoke itself. So who knows what their final rendition would be, but I can tell you that this push rod here, you can feel it. You can feel the push rod experience when you're using the yoke, which in my opinion, I don't know how that's going to work. And I understand they need it for some reason, because they wouldn't have engineered it if they didn't have to. So I think it has to do with the bracing the forces. Someone mentioned that on the chat here. You know, there must be something that's requiring this additional piston or dampener system. I did a few tests with this, right? So I trimmed the aircraft out, and then I pulled the power to idle, all right? When you pull the power to idle, and I'm trimmed out for, I think I was like doing 250 plus knots, okay? Pull the power to idle. What should happen is the airplane should nose down, the yoke should start to get real heavy, and you're pulling back on the yoke. As you're pulling back on the yoke, you need to what? Trim up, right? None of that happened. None of that happened. The airplane, the PMDG airplane, worked correctly. Now, what I thought was very interesting, it was the most Franken system you'd ever seen. We're in a 737. We've got a 7.3 yoke, Airbus pedals, a 777 FMC, and then we had Wing Airbus throttle levers with no trim. So it was a hybrid setup, you know, a definite hybrid Franken setup to begin with. But the airplane reacted like it was supposed to. It nosed down, but the yoke, nothing changed on the yoke. So I pressed the trim switch on the yoke. I started trimming the airplane nose up, trimming for a slower speed, or for a higher angle of attack, technically, or I should trim for angle of attack, not airspeed. Nothing changed on the yoke. Now, the yoke felt heavily dampened. It felt heavy, but it did not react and feel like a 737 yoke. In fact, Brunner, with the 737 profile that we have, actually felt more believable than that. So, I'm not saying that's how it's going to be in the end game. I definitely don't think it's going to be that way. They still have a lot of weight, a lot of time, a lot of ways to go here with this yoke. This is, you know, it's still not even close to the final. It's still a prototype. So next year, I anticipate seeing this again, and hopefully by next year, they will have kind of finished up the design. And I'm not against this piston design here. I'm not against that per se. I do think it's going to cause a lot of issues for the average flight sim desk. You're probably going to need a dedicated desk for this, or a dedicated setup. I'm not against the design per se, but I hope by next year we see an improvement to how it interfaces with the sim and how the forces are felt. Because at the end of the day, you don't just want a floor-mounted yoke that's heavily dampened, right? That's not what I want. I want a yoke that's gonna react the way it should react to the actual airplane. But that's all I got to say about that. XP's in the house. What's up, man? Good to see you. Hope you don't mind me stealing a little screen grab here. Again, go check out XP72. He did actually. He's a actual content creator. He was posting videos, going live from the Expo. There's the video link. Go check it out. Go give him a like and subscribe. You know, I'm a Temu content creator. I was just there. I didn't even think I pulled out my phone, maybe once or twice. And I just was having so much fun talking to everybody. XP, why you're still here, man? I have to say, I listened to you and Blue wrap up the Expo experience. You had the perfect line, dude. Absolute perfect line. You said, FS Expo, come for the hardware, stay for the people. And you couldn't have said that any better. This being my second Expo, you know, I finally I got to digest it much easier. My first Expo was just a whirlwind, man. I had no idea what was going on. It was just mayhem, chaos, all over the place. This Expo, I kind of knew what to expect. I saw the hardware, and it was cool. It was aight. And then the people, man. The people are what makes it. So, perfect tagline. I think you should send that to Evan and have him put that on the FS Expo website. Come for the hardware, stay for the people, man. So that was my thoughts on this yoke here. You can see he got a close-up of it right here. The yoke itself, like, how does it feel? Like the actual tactileness. Look at this handsome man right here. This handsome man XP. Like the gloss and everything, the checklist, perfect. It's amazing. It's really, really good. They are in the ballpark of having something that is absolutely game-changing when it comes to your home sim. You know, you pair that up with the $4,000 throttle quadrant, you're basically flying a 737. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. You pair that yoke up, if it works correctly, with a $4,000 throttle quadrant, you're flying a 7.3. But that's all I got to say about that. Jeff says it won't be going in any cockpit builder setups because that rod goes into the PFD and ND. Right. And so that, you know, Jeff has a good point. That rod, I was actually speaking to a cockpit builder from Cali Crew who runs a 737 sim for Cali Crew. last year they were thinking about getting that yoke when it comes out for their cockpit. But now with that rod there, they can't do it. Because if you put that yoke into a cockpit build, if you have a front panel, where are you going to put the rod? You can't, it doesn't fit. It's not going to work out. So, we'll see what Windwing cooks up. I mean, they've got some pretty good minds over there with what they've been cooking up and what they've been able to put out in terms of hardware. You know, some of their other side sticks and everything look good. He did say there was in XP's video, if you watch it, he's talking to one of the wind control guys, and he says there's going to be another product similar. It's going to be a little bit more affordable, but it's also going to be a yoke style force feedback, which I'm interested to seeing maybe next year at next year's Expo too. So, but yeah, from last year, I thought last year it was ready to go, but they must have run into some issues without having that support rod there. So it's curious. It's curious to me. I'll tell them to put it on the next t-shirt. Do it, man. Do it. Too big for the average home simmer and not feasible for a full cockpit build. Yeah, and you're gonna alienate a lot of people that are gonna be wanting to get that. Great to hear a lot about hardware. What did you dislike on the software side, Carson? I'm glad you asked, because that's what I was gonna say next. As far as the software is concerned, let's go outside. Hold on, watch your ears. I want to see this Max in all her glory. Let me go ahead and my homemade chase plane that I still haven't got yet. Look at that. Who needs chase plane, man? I'm chase plane. The software side, I was very disappointed. I was very disappointed in the software side, only because last year we saw so much more on the software side. We saw PMDG had their booth. You could fly their 777. They had a Throttletek 7.6 777 throttle there with this 777. We had a freaking Kit Fox in the convention floor because somebody was making a Kit Fox, and you could actually see the airplane. We had Bluebird. Almost said blue balls. We had, well, hand in hand, I guess, depending how much you like the 7.5. But we had Bluebird there where you could fly the 7.5 around. You had Contrail there with the Falcon 50. You had the Indy booth there, which Indy was there as well with the 220. I did not go to the Indy booth for the 220. There was just a lot of people around there, and the 220 is essentially just it's an RJ. You press a few buttons and she's gonna fly. I am gonna fly it on stream, but it doesn't excite me as a real world airplane. But I am excited for the Indy-Build Synaptic rendition of it, but I wasn't excited enough to the point to go fight the crowd of people that wanted to see it in the sim. So they were there this year, but that was it. It was Indy-Builds. It was who else was there on the software side for airplanes? I don't even know. I didn't see any. I did see in the AI product reveal showcase on Friday, there was a 707 coming to Microsoft. I'm looking forward to that. Okay, I am looking forward to that. The 707 being redone from local legends and, with someone else. Was it Any Builds that we're going to work on that? I don't know how far along that's going to be or when that's going to drop, but I'm interested. I did see that the 707 from Nimbus, I watched their Wing Flex video that they posted on YouTube, 100%. I'm going to be flying that on X-Plane 12 when it drops. I'm very interested in that, 707. But FSS announced a TU-154, which, yeah, it's cool. I would have rather had a E190 E2, but it's a TU-154. I mean, a lot of you Russians in chat are probably really going to be excited about that. I think it's going to be an interesting airplane for sure. It's definitely going to be interesting. We'll have to see more. I didn't get to see the full presentation on the AI product reveal on Friday, but as the with anything with software, as time comes along and they start showing you the systems and get to listen to the sounds and all that stuff. It definitely is an airplane that I would be interested in flying in the sim because it's old school, it's analog, and it's a tri-jet, right? So I'm definitely interested in that aspect. I'm actually, you talked about something out of left field. I am completely surprised that's what they went with, a TU-154. But I guess maybe after working on the tri-jet, the 727s, that they decided to stick with tri-jets. Which, hey, I'm all for any airplane that's got more than 2 engines excites me. So I will definitely be taking a look at it as it gets closer to its final situation. Can't wait for an I&I business jet. I did see the IndyBuilds teaser of a global. That was a global, right? So for us that love jet card and love our corporate jet flying, very interested about the global. Now I know Chris PT6, he's going to fill that global up with max fuel and just go, max range every single flight, because that man's not happy if he's flying less than 8 hours in one leg. So I will probably fill it up with a quarter tank and fly it from San Diego to Phoenix. But I did see the teaser from IndyBuilds, and I welcome all additional corporate jets to the sim, especially now with jet card and being able to give yourself a reason to fly corporate stuff in the sim. I'm excited for that. Definitely excited for that. I also heard, I'm not going to say anything, but there is something else that I was brought to my attention. There is something else that's cooking in terms of corporate jets. I'm very excited. I'm not going to say anything else about it because I swore on secrecy from the dev that told me. So, not saying nothing, but I will say I'm very excited for something else that cannot be mentioned. Captain McGee, thank you for the $2 super chat. It says, how about the Cockpit Sim 737 motor Quadrant? Captain McGee, I'm waiting to talk more about that because I need to get my hands on one, and then I'll have a link for you guys to go buy one. The Cockpit Sim 737 Quadrant was a 1-to-1 real life 737 throttle quadrant. The flap tension and the spoiler tension, actually the spoiler tension was pretty good. They're just, honestly, just the flap tension was just a little bit lighter than the real airplane, but other than that, that is the closest thing to the real Quadrant that I have seen. It's more like the real 737 throttle quadrant than the actual 737 quadrants we use in sim training, not the level D sims, but when we do our CPT training, which are just glass cockpits, right? So they're touch screen, you sit down, you're in a cockpit that's all touch screen, and there is a throttle quadrant placed in the middle of the screens of a 737. Those are our CPT trainers, which are certified by the FAA. Those throttles were okay, but they weren't as good as the Cockpit Builder 7.3 Quadrant for $4,000. That is a serious piece of hardware. It's not going to be for the average flight simmer, but it is very, very impressive. I'll talk about the latches, the latching, the fire release latching, and all that stuff. That is all modeled. The stab trim is modeled. Very, very clean. So the Cockpit Sim 7.3 Quadrant, Captain McGee, those guys actually developed on the commercial side. That's why it's so good. They've brought down, I don't say brought down, but they've changed the hardware to a consumer level piece of hardware, and that's what we saw on the show floor. So that's why it's really good. They used to build them for real, for certified simulators. So Ryan Gents, thanks again for the $10 super chat, sir. Appreciate you. It says, plane spotting at MSP and saw so many Delta 220s. Honestly, the takeoff juice was bland. Definitely compared to the UPS 7.4 and all the 7.5s we saw. I will say the 220 reversers sound like a whale. That's that idle. That's that reverse idle spool up, man. Yeah, Ryan Gents, thanks for the $10 super chat. The 220 sound set, it's being made by Echo 19, so I have faith it's going to be good. But they got to nail that whale sound. I mean, you could be walking through the terminal, and then you'll hear the whale sound, and then you will, and then you'll be like, "Oh, this is 220. Is that Will Rogers? Is that Oak City? Is that our alternate down there below us? What airport is that?" But thank you, man. Appreciate the $10 super chat. Yeah, the 220 pales in comparison, man. The 220 pales in comparison to the to 7.5 or 7.4. A Falcon 8X, I don't know anything about a Falcon 8X. Is there something about a Falcon 8X that I missed? I know nothing about a Falcon 8X. I am very excited about the Falcon 50 from Contrail. Bill's Mafia, I don't know why you're saying PMDG Falcon, because that would be awesome, but I don't, you're playing with me, right? But a Falcon 50 from Contrail looks like it's going to be awesome as well. Delta Fan, thank you for the $5 super chat. What about the Lear 45? Will give me a nostalgic FS98 vibe. Lear 45, who's... Oh, yeah, from Just Flight? Oh, of course, dude. I'm at, like, we got the Lear 45, right? Which I'm sure that's way on the back burner by now. They announced that, you know, relatively soon. I think they got a long way to go in terms of that. We got the F70, F100 coming, and then the A300, I'm assuming, is still in development. And then I think after all of that, they might start looking at the Lear 45. But very excited for the Lear 45 if it does come out before the sim is into 2028. V1 is teasing us worse than Bluebird. I can't say anything, man. Can't say anything. The INI A380 excited you? To each their own. A380s are A380s, in my opinion. If you love A380s, you're going to love the A380. We have a free A380. I would have to compare notes on the 380s. I'd be curious to see what's going on.
Looking to see some hand flying on the arrival and hear your feedback.
Dougal, my man, thank you for the $10 bank angle check. Dougal, appreciate you. We will hand fly it on the way down. When we come out of 10,000 feet or so, we'll hand fly the approach, get on downwind, and hand fly it in. But yeah, I am curious to see if it has changed much here with the Max. It did feel more responsive than I was anticipating on rotation, so we shall see. We shall see. I'm saying Randazzo secretly told you about a Falcon. Oh, no, I wish. Bills Mafia, I wish, dude. If Randazzo would not tell me about a Falcon because he knew we wouldn't be able to keep it a secret. But the Contrail Falcon 50 is definitely got my interest, especially for jet card. Guys, we might have to do a jet card stream tonight. If I don't get called, if I go past DOTC. Turks, when does DOTC end? When does DOTC end? If I make it past DOTC without getting called for a long call tomorrow, we might end up doing a jet card stream tonight. We shall see. But 4 p.m. Okay, so that would be 3 p.m. Okay, so we got another hour and a half. All right. We're going to see, Nabil. We're going to see. 10 to 3 home base time. Thank you, Sam. Wait, you said 10 to 3. Jeff Turk said 10 to 4. Is it 4 or 3? I thought it... See? I thought it was 4, too. Is it 3 or 4? I don't know. Just remember you have 3 planes assigned to me on jet card. I do for a very specific reason. I'll sneak this in here. We are going to get Piaggios in the jet card fleet. I'm going to get a small we're going to get a small fleet of Piaggios. Got a custom livery from Whiskey coming out here real soon. So SKCG, Cartagena, and jet card, V-Pilot. I know I actually sent them. So V-Pilot, I sent a airport request. I don't know what will get approved, if any will get approved, but I did basically a second Colombia pass and South America pass of some airports for jet card. You know, jet card has they got a good Discord. They're pretty responsive. They have a master airport request list. So if you have some airports that are not in jet card that you think would make sense for jet card, they're not just going to approve in, you know, your random Alpha 7 Zulu strip because that was, you know, the closest to your house. If it's an airport that is legit and would fit in the jet card ecosystem, they are pretty receptive to adding those airports into the program. So I highly recommend checking it out. But I did set a list. Oh my gosh, I just got a spam calls. My heart jumped. I can't take the stresses. I can't take the stresses. Sean told me any airport can be used. We got to get it. Cartagena is in. It's in. Maybe I thought it was in too. Didn't we fly there? I thought maybe we flew there already. So no Pero? No, I put Pero. So I put... I'm not going to open the list now. I put a list of airports. Should we fly all the way to Hof? Or look at this. I don't know why we're flying to Hof. There's no weather anymore, but this is what we did yesterday. Should we cut the corner and go direct? I don't know what time is it, 1:47? Yeah, shoot, it's been a long day. Let's go direct Cown. Let's go Cown, bring it to the top, cut the corner. Yeah, buddy. We're going to beat AJ, too. We'll cut the corner. There's AJ. I think he took off in front of us. Or is that the 7-2? Yeah, that's AJ. We're gonna pass him. Also, what is our Mach? 791. That's good. That's a cool shot right there, honestly. We're gonna cut the corner. They assign most of the crap by 10:15 nowadays, so you're pretty Turks. Don't. No, dude, I got called the last one, Turks. Get this, dude. So for those of you that were wondering why I was half out of it the first day of Expo, so this is for Turks, because he said, oh, they only assign crap by 10:15. All right, man, I had 3 days of reserve, and on day 4 was my 8 a.m. flight to MSP. On my first day of reserve, I'm thinking, so it's the day before my first 3-day block. So this was Tuesday. Start reserve Wednesday, Thursday. No, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, off Friday. So it was Monday. So I had 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of reserve. Monday at like 2 p.m. I'm thinking I'm safe for my long call tomorrow, which is good, which basically means I'll probably just work 2 days this week before Expo. All will be fine. Like 2:45, I get a call. ECS call. You've been assigned blah, blah, blah trip. Deadhead. Miami out to San Juan. Get in at midnight. 1 a.m. departure. Chicago, 5.5 hours later. Red eye. Get done at, and then day sleep with a deadhead back to base. So first I'm like, this is awful. And then I'm like, well, I'm going to wave the deadhead on the front end and go from DFW, which will help that, which is fine, because there was one flight that would get me in on time. And then I'll just deadhead after I get in and come straight home, which I did. But I was up for like 32 hours because I flew Dallas to San Juan. It was like a 6-hour flight, man. 6 hours, Dallas, San Juan. Landed in San Juan. I was so happy that Gusto's was open. Gusto's Coffee, 10 for 10 San Juan. I love that place. If you guys are traveling through San Juan, make sure you stop at the Gusto's and get a coffee. They're great coffee there. I also found out they have a 24/7 Gusto's on the other D gates, I think. It's like a self-serve Gusto's Coffee in San Juan Airport. Open 24/7. But they were still open at midnight when I got there, the regular location. So I got a coffee, got on my red-eye flight now. So 6-hour deadhead, 30 minutes walk around, get on a 5.5-hour red-eye, Waters Atlantic track route system to Chicago on a clapped out Block 1 NG. So, and it was my first time going across the waters with an NG or in a 737, which was, I'd say, interesting, but it was about how I'd expect it to go. So then we flew all the way to Chicago, got in Chicago at 4:30 in the morning, and there was a 5 a.m. flight to Dallas, which I didn't think I was going to make, and this was right after the weather. There was a massive weather event in Chicago. This was the day before Expo started, right? So all that weather that was in Chicago kind of pushed through. We got to pick our way around it. So when you're the most tired on a red eye, like that last arrival segment, that's when the most demanding part of the flight came up. We're deviating around weather and stuff that had just blown through. We're trying to get on the other side of the weather band. We land in Chicago 4:30 a.m. I literally run over after being stagnant now for 12 hours, 6 hours to San Juan, 6-hour block essentially to Chicago. I've been sitting for 12 hours. Then I have this short burst sprint over to the 5 a.m. gate. I get the second jump seat. There's 2 of us up there. Ironically, with my captain that we just flew, we both ran over. We both got the jump seats on an Airbus to then fly, 2.5 hours back to DFW. Got in at 9 or so in the morning. And then I tried to day sleep. I can't day sleep. I have 4 kids and 3 dogs and just mayhem, right? So I'm thinking I'm going to go to sleep Thursday night. I've been up for 35 hours closing in on almost 40 hours at this point because I got up the day before. And I'm thinking I'm going to get a nice long sleep tonight. One thing led to another. I was getting ready to go to bed, and it turns out we had a snake infestation. We had a snake in the chicken coop. We had copperheads that we had to chop the heads off of. I told the story at Expo. For those of you that were there, you got the full detail. But I ended up getting like 3 hours of sleep because I had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Went to bed at 11, got up at 4, and flew to Expo. So I had showed up to Expo Friday morning on maybe a collective 7 hours of sleep for the past 2.5 days. And then to nightcap it, right, we're all hanging out. Zambonis on Friday, super chill. We get rained out. It's fine. We go somewhere else. We end up, the missus and I were like, we'll pack it up. We head back to the hotel. And we're like, let's just hop in there real quick for one more lobby bar drink because it was smorgies. Like, so we just have one more drink here real quick. And we're getting ready to go to bed. And who do I see down there at 11:30 is Chris PT6 checking into the hotel. And of course, I can't not, have a couple drinks with Chris PT6. So that guy kept me up till 2 o'clock in the morning. So it was a very minimal, it was a lot of awake time, but it was a hell of a lot of fun. So that's also why I didn't show up to the show floor on Friday or on Saturday until noon. So I woke up, 2 o'clock we go to bed. I finished my angel food donut. I had an angel food donut in the room, which was amazing. So at 2 a.m. I have an angel food donut that I bought from when we went through the airport. And go to sleep, wake up. I tried to get up early, but I just couldn't do it. Couldn't do it, man. We got up at like 10:30 because the sun came in. The sun in Minnesota, man. It doesn't get dark till 11, and the sun comes out at 4 o'clock in the morning. So the sun came in, woke us up, went back to sleep for an hour or two, super groggy. Got up at 10:30, and I'm like, man, we got to get to the expo floor, but need to eat something. So I text Chris, and Chris is like, man, I'm sleeping in, dude. I'm too tired. I'm too old for this. So Water picked us up, and we went over and got breakfast. And then I showed up to the expo floor at noon. So, note to self for the Vegas Expo, manage time better. And that's pretty much my takeaway. That's my debrief item for Expo, is I got to be a little bit better managing the time. So, I hit Angel Food on the way out of town yesterday, Mr. Martini. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We brought, on the way back, so yeah, on the way out of MSP, we got a box of Angel Foods for the kiddos. For those of you that remember, when I was based in Atlanta with Spirit, I would specifically bid for Minneapolis turns. So that's all I pretty much did, is I'd go to MSP and back, and I'd bring home a donut for the kids to split or share. Well, eventually, it started out with, here kids, split a donut from MSP, to eventually me bringing home a box of 6 donuts every time I went to MSP. But it was kind of sad. We walked. I'm walking through the terminal, so we flew American up to MSP, and we parked at the same gate that I just left at here on the stream, like Echo 14 or something. And Spirit used to always park at D2 and D4 right there in the corner. And I'm walking by the gate that I used to always park at. Anytime I went to MSP, I did that flight, 10 times a month. And there was a Denver Air Connection 145 on the gate, which I didn't know. I guess I've heard of them before, but I didn't know they were still doing stuff. There was a 145 Denver Air Connection there at was that E4? So that's called lifestyle creep. Exactly, Turks. Exactly. 185 people may ask me, where's V1? Is he here yet? Yeah, that's... I know. So I woke up, my phone was, had blown up. The Discord's blowing up. It's like, where's V1? I'm like, oh, shoot. I gotta get to the show floor. I wouldn't recommend the salted caramel. Way too salty. Wow. Oh, really? Yeah, I haven't had. Well, you know what? I don't know if I've had that one. I probably have. I enjoy the Popular Demand donut. It's called by Popular Demand. I keep going back to that one. I did enjoy the raspberry. There was like a raspberry cinnamon toast crunch one, which was pretty good. But, man, the cronuts, actually. So I'm a huge cronut connoisseur. For those of you that don't know what a cronut is, it's a croissant that's been turned into a donut. Like, I don't know if they fry it and glaze it. Amazing. I tried the Angel Food cronut for the first time yesterday. Highly recommend. Highly recommend. You gotta warm them up, though. You gotta warm them up. Those Angel Foods, they're great, you know, when they're fresh. But a lot of times you're not going to get them fresh because they bake them early, or I don't know exactly when they bake them. But you got to warm them up. You got to put them in the microwave for 13 seconds. 13 seconds is all you need. Not 11 seconds, not 15 seconds. 13 seconds in the microwave. Perfected it, and they're pretty good. I was in Anchorage last week. We left Detroit at 1800, landed at 21:30. It looked like 5 p.m. The sun doesn't set till 23:30. My goodness. Yeah, reset jet. That's got to be. That's when you need those hardcore blackout curtains. Are we coming up on the Red River? We might be getting close. What do we think of the new sound set? So is this... I didn't think the sounds were really bad to begin with. Alright, we got to do some arrival prep here. Let me get my heading bug dialed in. You're 150 out? Yeah, we are, we're coming up on TOD. So, let me get my charts out. Threats? Complacency. Visual approach backed up the ILS. Any questions? Nope. Briefing is complete. Alright, DFW. We're on the Star. We're on the what? The Jovem. The Jovem from Hoff. Alright, Jovem, Hoff transition. We're going to be landing north 36 left. We get a descend via. We're going to descend to 12,000. I'll set that here at my MCP. Seiler 12,210 knots. I love the sound of the MCP window ticking. That is very good. 12,210 knots. That'll lead us into the approach for the ILS to 36 left. Actually, I should check my flight, see if we landed on 36 left. I would tell you what runway we landed on, but everyone had their windows shut the entire flight, even on landing. I have no idea. Let's see, ILS 36 left. Maybe I can look up my flight aware, see where we landed. I'm pretty sure we landed 36 left. Alright, 36 left, 788 in the barrow, 111.9, 356. 356 there. 356 there. 788 in the barrow. Wait, you have to... How do you click it? I can't... What? What's going on here? Why can't I click and hold it the other direction? Oh no. Oh hell no. We ain't doing this. Give me a DH. That needs to fix. That needs to be fixed. We're not gonna mouse wheel that. I mean, look how much this is gonna take just to get to 200. Hold left mouse button and scroll. Who the hell come up with that idea? I gotta use two hands. No, it's not working. It's not working, Turks. Or Turk Heron. It's zooming me in because it's not native. Oh, look, now you screw. Now screw you. We're doing radio mints. That's the worst. That's the worst barrel reference I've ever seen in my life. I'm not changing interface. I'm not changing interface for an airplane. Every other airplane works perfect. The pmdg 73NG, you can set a 15,000 foot baro min in 1 minute. I'm not changing any interface. That's a dev problem. That ain't my problem. Make it work like every other airplane in the sim. You're not special. All right, 200 on the radio mins is set because they can't figure that out. So 200 is 788 baro. It doesn't matter. It's a visual backed up the ILS. What's our init ref speeds? We're going to be 147.2. We'll glide slope 111.9. We're going to do flaps 30, 146. Let's check our landing fuel. Let's see. We're going to be landing with 7. We got 9. We'll update it at 10. But let's take 2,000 pounds off of that. So how we do it, let's put our gross weight of 145 in here. And then that'll change your ref speed. And we'll double tap flap 30, 146. Actually, I want flap 40. We'll do 40, 141. We'll do 40, 141 for the speed. Now, if we do this right, if I go back to prog, I should be able to come back to init, and my weights should be what they are. 146.9. See, that's good. So they do have that modeled correctly. All right, speeds are set 111.9. Let's get that dialed in here. 111. Oh, nope. Let's flip the mode. ILS 111.9. All right, 111.9, both sides. Ref and the baro is set 200. 1540. Yeah, we're doing flap 40 on this one. The iFly manager, it is in P3D mode. Change it to Microsoft. It should be default to Microsoft. You shouldn't have to go into the manager to change my Microsoft product to get out of P3D mode. It should be by default. Just like all cabin lighting should be defaulted to off, because I am not a flight attendant and I am not interested in doing flight attendant simulation. So, they should push an update to change that, because ain't nobody got time to change a P3D setting. You mean set it up on the glare shield? Exactly. Donuts. Yeah, exactly. AJ, put the donut up on the glare shield, like I did in the Chieftain. Kato, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Kato's in the house, our resident JetCard software developer for V1 Executive Charter, VEC, man. Dude, the VEC website is absolutely awesome. Do you guys want to see it? Hold on. I don't really want to promote V1 Executive Charter right now because I can't hire anybody because we're still waiting for the Falcon. But check this out, y'all. If you like JetCard, this is all thanks to Kato. There's our website. Homer Price looks like he won the landing competition. We've got an ops room. Check out our fleet and see who's flying. Actually, let's do this real quick. Let's enter the ops room, shall we? VEC. We'll do this later tonight. Maybe it's not going to work. There we go. Who's flying? Who we got out there? We got Aaron Blinky. He's going to land at Burbank. He's out there flying. We got 9 in cruise, 3 taxi out, 3 boarding. Let's see. Who's the highest? 11 Victor Charlie. That is a Citation 10. He's at 47,000 feet. 507 NK. That's an old 319 that we got from Spirit, doing 531. The butter today is Daniel Moretti at 20 feet per minute. My goodness, that's a butter. We do have people flying. Absolutely love it. Check out V1 Executive Charter.com. Thank you, Kato. Appreciate you. Thank you, man, for the gifted memberships, dude. Very, very kind. Appreciate the support. Appreciate everything that you've done for V1 Executive Charter as well, man. Been a ton of fun. VEC SOP flaps 1530. No, flaps 1540, AJ. 1540. I got 40 set. We're doing 40 flap, AJ. Don't worry. We're doing a 40 flap, 141. We're going flaps 40. Thank you, AJ. I appreciate $3 super chat. But we're going to do flap 1540, not 1530. 1540. Ref and Ibera was set. We got plenty of runways, 13,400 feet long. Barrow is set, and you know, we want the VSD up. Nothing really to see yet. There's really no terrain out there. We'll keep big for now. Let's take a look at the Parameters, oil quantities, 22. That looks good. Hydraulics all looking good. You see the quantity is down because we're in cruise. That's correct. Wonderful. All right, we're coming up on TOD. It says TOD in 32 miles, which is in 4 minutes. 4 minutes, we're starting down. AJ and his expensive taekwondo. Enjoy the CRJ. I love flying it. Learn to listen to your butt. It'll help immensely. Oh yeah, Chiku just passed my ATP CRJ type last week. Going to do IOE next week. Excited for this chapter. Very cool, man. Very, very cool, Chico. CRJ type rating complete, man. Enjoy it, dude. And this is some of the most exciting time that you're gonna have in your career is right now, dude. Just getting started. IOE, your first ever pushback, dude. I still remember my first ever 121 pushback in an Embraer 170 from Washington, D.C. I told the story when we recreated that flight a couple of years ago when we were living in Atlanta. We did, I don't remember, it was Brickyard something. I don't remember the flight number, but we did a whole flight on it. I still remember, man, I was rushing to get to the gate, snowstorm, all this stuff in Philly. I get to D.C. and it's just a whirlwind. You don't know what's going on. Everything is crazy, new, and just happening so fast. And I remember the feeling as soon as the brake dropped and we started pushing backwards. It's the first time I had ever watched the terminal disappear from the cockpit view. And actually, I was in the right seat, right? So I was like right here. And it was such a cool feeling, man, being pushed back for the first time ever in an airliner. There's the Red River. So enjoy it, man. Soak it in. Soak it in, dude. Can you give some tips on how to fly the Sovereign before touchdown? I'm still searching the best technique. A sim exec flyer. So you want to, on the Sov, bring that power out nice and early. You got to bring the power out early. Not like a 7.3, but bring that power out. If your power is not at idle by 50 feet, you're probably going to float significantly. And you want to just very gently just keep a little bit of back pressure and just keep the nose up so she's almost like you're afraid to touch the ground. And then she'll come down and butter. You don't really flare it, you know, like a 7.3 or an airliner or a heavier corporate jet. You don't really put a lot of flare. You bring the power out, and if you're in trim, you just add a little bit of pressure. Just hold that nice pitch attitude. Let the airplane settle down. Let it settle, and it's just pressure. You're not making a big flare movement. You're just holding a little bit of pressure. And she'll settle down nicely. Then soon you'll have a 15-hour overnight in Midland, Bakersfield, Cleveland. Yes. Enjoy the enjoy it now, because that newness will wear off, and the realities of regional airline flying will slap you in the face at some point. But you still got some time, Chico. As we pass the Red River into the good old Texas. That's what the Red River looks like right now, too. It's pretty low. A lot of sandbars out there. Your company on jet cars still hiring? Yes, I'll apply when I get home tonight. We are. The window is open. I haven't closed the hiring. I may actually have to close it. If I close it, I'll lose all the applications on file. But the reason we're not growing or hiring right now is we run about a 2-to-1 pilot to airplane ratio to make sure the jets are flying. If the jets aren't flying, it's going to come back to bite us when the leases are due. So we're getting a super high utilization rate right now. And the reason I don't want to hire more is because when the Falcon 50 releases, which should be soon, we're gonna expand again. We're gonna have a lot of growth, and I'm gonna add a lot of Falcons to the fleet. So I'm kind of saving the fleet space for the Falcon 50 drop right now. But because I'm going to open the Piaggio, I'm going to open a little Piaggio base. I haven't decided where yet. I may do another West Coast base. I might do, if I can get Ukiah, I might open Ukiah. There's the engines coming back right as we cross into Texas. I'd love to open Ukiah Municipal for Piaggios and maybe some 10s. We'll hire a handful of pilots. But the competition is tight. You need if If you're not a member, if you're not a commercial member, you need a nice high rep right now. I mean, 60 rep is kind of our new baseline. So, just because you haven't been hired yet, keep enjoying the program. Enjoy flying charters, because once you get hired by a company, when you fly charters, you can only fly charters in company aircraft, and we do not have AI ferrying on, so you would have to ferry the jet to the charter location, which means it's going to be an extensive commitment once you get hired by a company. So enjoy flying charters, enjoy flying multiple airplanes in the system now, build that reputation up, and then when we open the hiring window, we are a 100% merit-based hiring operator of highest reputations first. It's totally not a pay-to-play system, AJ, exactly. What is our utilization rate? Seems like there's a lot of booking 7-leg trips to fly once a day or just over weekends. We have 100 planes and we're seeing 20 to 30 hours at a time. It's still good, Darth Rust. It's still good, because a lot of those, you know, those 7-leg trips, I mean, that pays for that airplane's monthly payment. So we're not going to be hardcore. You know, you have to fly so many flights a week or a day. We're not doing any of that stuff. We just, you know, we want you to fly. Once you book an airplane, you've got it for 7 days. And then after that, you lose it. Sitka, Alaska calls for a new West Coast base if you're looking for scenic experience. Ooh, an Alaska base. An Alaska base would be pretty sweet. I like Alaska. Yeah, anyone less than my Jawsbone, yeah. So the cutoff, the cutoff might actually, I might actually implement the reputation cutoff here soon. Any rep less, but then what happens when I get to 100 rep? You know, there's a lot of pilots that aren't at 100 rep yet.
Bob, can you follow me?
So, gosh, that looks amazing. Look at that. But there will be a, we will have a golf style cut, you know, for reputation. If you can't,
I'm hitting top of this then. So
you can't maintain a certain rep,
down in front of you. Yeah.
might end up getting cut.
That'll be fine.
All right, we're on our descent. We've talked about our threats. You've been briefed. I've been briefed. Does this thing have weather radar? It does. Does it do weather radar things? Like, can we, oh, it's one of these things. Ugh. Can we adjust the tilt for real? Does the tilt work? If I point it straight down, we'll paint the ground? Not really. If I tilt it all the way up, it should get rid of all that. Let's see. Okay, so not really a tilt function radar, just standard Adobo. I only asked that because I thought they implemented tilt with Sim Update 5. But that's alright. I got no problem with that. I got no problem with default weather radar. I know you guys love having all this hardcore radar stuff. I could take it or leave it. I'm totally fine with this. Do we get bonus rep points for birds killed? We do, Turks. Yes, you get bonus reputation. If you take a screenshot of your bird strike, we can add some rep boost. All right, we're coming down the Jovam. We need a little bit of drag. Let's go ahead and get speed brakes out and see how they. Ooh, that looks good. Typical 7.3, man. Drag required. Golly, look at the view. That is real life. Two 7.3s are on the same day. FlyJ Sim and the Max Service Pack 1 happen with both. Very cool. I need to, I don't know. Do I need to check out the FlyJ Sim in X-Plane 12? For those of you that have it. Do I need to check it out? Did I meet Sean at the Expo? I did, man. He gave me and the missus a shirt, dude. Love Sean. Cool dude, man. Super cool guy. If you want, not now. Just let X-Plane fade, man. I know. Until that 707, though. Come on, guys. Did you guys see that wing view video of the 707? My goodness, the clouds and some of the wing looks way better. I mean, this looks like much cleaner, much better. Let's keep an eye on where Jovum. Let's go VSD here for a second. Zoom you in. Between 15 and 13. There goes our barrel ref. All right, magic barrel refs are 2,902. I find that hard to believe. Lights are coming on. We'll get these on. I won't do them later. We'll get the seatbelt sign on. Let's do a descent checklist, please. Recalls coming at you. 6 + 1. Descent checklist. Altimeters. 3000. There it is. 3000 set. Approach prep complete. Pressurization. Should have been 650, I thought. That's fine. 600 is set. What is our... Oh yeah, 600. Alright, 600 set. Pressurization is checked. Terrain display. Terrain is on the FO side. I'm going to run weather radar on mine for a little bit longer. Lights are set. Descent checklist is complete, chat. Alright, we'll get our replay recorder tool up here ready as well. Alright, recorder is ready. I feel like the iFly still can't compare with the finished quality of the pmdg special sound pack. I would agree, Jawsbone. I would agree. I love having the Max though, man. I mean, it's still definitely flyable. This stream was more of an Expo debrief and just get to hang out. I wanted to fly the Max, make sure it's operating. We might do a Max stream, another one after, not today, but maybe tomorrow or something. And we'll do some more Max specific testing. We'll see if they got, what kind of updates they got going on. Because I do prefer the Max. Yeah, AJJ, I do like the Max over the NG, without question. The Max real world is just it flies so nice, man. Alright, she's trying to speed back on us already here. What's our outside air temp? +17. We don't need any anti-ice. Miss V1 needs to join the Real Housewives of FS Expo. Oh, wouldn't that be something? Too bad we can't get Turk Karen's ex-wife of FS Expo because he just wants to ditch us. Is there a Max BBJ? There actually is, Darth Rust. I think there is a BBJ Max. Not in the sim, but real world, yes. I like the takeoff in the NG more though. The engines just sound more like jet engines. Oh yeah, Sam. Definitely, dude. Sam, I did. You done a what is it? 27K bump, whatever we have. You done a bump takeoff yet? I did one out of Guatemala City, man. On OE. 28K bump or whatever it was. Even the Czech airman was like, man, I don't remember the last time I ever did one of these. Full max power takeoff. Our ITTs were like right at the limit, and it just, the sound, dude. You can't beat an NG on takeoff. You can't beat you cannot beat the NG on takeoff when you're really going. The Max though, I do like starting the Max because it sounds exactly like the iFly. Or I should say the iFly sounds exactly like, but when you're up, even because up front you can still hear the light off in the Max. So in the NG with my headset on, like I have my noise canceling off, but I still have my in-ear headset on for startup because we're still on intercom hot mic with the ground crew, so we don't have our ICS on pilot to pilot yet when we start the airplane up. And so you can hear what's going on outside the aircraft a little bit better that way. But on the NG, you really can't hear the startup at all. It's very, very muted. But the Max, you can definitely hear the light off from up front. So, Sam, I highly recommend the Pro Flights. So you don't have them yet? How do you not have the Pro Flights yet, Sam? Better than IAE? No, the IAE, Andre, the IAE engines in the Airbus, when you're just taxiing around, and you hear that real high pitch, like, it just sounds like you're melting fuel off the airplane with the IAE engines. It's still the best to me. Still the best IAE engines taxiing around the Airbus. They just got this, high pitch whine that they just sound like they're whining that they're thirsty for gas. I love the IAEs, man. And no, as far as takeoff sounds concerned, the IAE is still king. Still king. All right, we're 12,000 at Siler. Let's go ahead and let's go 6,000 or 7. Down to 7. We're gonna shorten up this vector here. We don't need any radar anymore. We'll turn you off. Radar test pass. Oh, PWS failed. Oh, sorry, wrong button. What'd I turn off? Oh, PWS norm. There we go. Weather off, terrain up, VSD's off. Here we go. Sounds all the way up. And let's get ready to go through 10. Double check all our lights. Double tap there. I'll do this for you guys. Don't freak out. I'm pretty sure you can set auto. Can you not? Can you set auto in my airplane? Is there no navigation, runway, control, other systems? Beacon flash rate. What type of beacon flash rate do we have, Sam? Are they slow or fast? And do we have Vickers or ABEX? Because I don't know. I don't see any auto engine start switches. I don't see any there. I'll have to turn them on. Alright, temps are good. We don't need any anti-ice. We're going for 210. We're going to close the speed window. Let's go 240. And let's level change. Let's just get out of this mode. Let's go. Level change. Down we go. Let's get below it. What is Mutton? Our Hutton is 3,000. All in is 4. Let's go ahead and do level change. American 357 send to maintain 4,000. The vector's final approach. No, he wouldn't say that. Just send maintain 4,000. I'm going to do my best ATC for you guys. You couldn't find it either. EFB is still congested. It's a little congested, Turk, but it's actually, I'm impressed at how snappy it is. It's not laggy, so it's not bad. It just takes some getting used to. I did hear that, what is it, there's a new EFB coming for all airplanes at Expo. I didn't get a chance to go over to the booth, but it was Katie Pilot. I met Katie Pilot there. She's famous for the Phoenix EFB. So that was her. That's how I got introduced to Katie Pilot, was when she was working on the Phoenix EFB. But I heard that she's making another EFB, like for all the airplanes, I think, or something like that. I wanted to go check out the booth, but I ended up not headed over there. D. Chris B. What's up, man? Good to see you, man. B-52 crash at Edwards Air Force Base. Really? Just now? Uh-oh. That's awful. That's awful, man. It's been a rough few days, that's what Chris said. Anthony Teal, my man, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. How you doing, Anthony? Thank you so much for stopping by the channel, dropping some gifted subs. Thank you, man. Hope all is well. Hope you're enjoying the streams. I saw they had a 146 in jet card. They do. They do. Mick Oatmeal, you like it so much you have an ATP livery on it? Can only imagine. American 357, turn left, heading 150, vectors final. Send and maintain 3,000. Alright, 3,000, set, heading, select. Let's shoot a line. Let's bring it up off of, let's do char. So char, legs, bring it to the top. It's going to be 356. How's that look? That looks good. Execute. American 357, continue left turn now, heading 100. 100 heading, speed brakes out. We need to slow down a little bit here. Flaps 1, please. Speed verified. Is it speed verified or speed checked? I haven't been in an airplane so long, I don't know. Cutting this one in, chat. I'm going to cut this one in. American 357, continue that left turn now. Fly heading a 040, maintain 3 tail established, cleared ILS from 36 left approach. Alright, 3 tail established. We're in the turn. 3. Let's keep slowing down while we're at it. Let's do 210. Let's go back to 190 if we can do it. We're cleared approach. We should LNAV, VNAV it, but I'm going to be easy. Going into easy mode. Flaps Fife. Recording is on. Let's see if we can catch this descent here. That's a pretty tight vector. Let's help it out. Oh, did we catch it? We must have glide slope on before load. Flaps 10. That's why you'd ideally do that in LNAV mode.
DFW area, American 404, turning left downwind.
DFW traffic, American 357 out of 4,500 ILS 36 left, about a 5-mile final, DFW. Come on, baby, catch it. Oh, hand fly. Shoot, chat. Shoot. Autopilot's off. Alright, well that was terrible. I totally forgot. Well, I'll be able to tell here on final too, just in terms of pitch. What's our final approach speed? It's, we're looking for 141. I'm diving down here to catch the slope a little bit. There we go. Do that.
Hi, Captain. The cabin is now secured for landing.
Excellent, thank you. Now my radio's
2,500.
making me change comms. Alright. Alright, we caught up to it. Why? I was gonna say, where's 36 left? I don't see 36 left. Okay, I see. Alright, gear down. Speed brake arm. Flaps 15. There's our spoiler. Flaps 25. Flaps 30. Feels pretty good. Feels pretty good on approach here as we slow down. We need to be 146. And flaps 40. Oh yeah, look at that flap 40 coming in. I love it. Which feels a little out of trim. Flaps 40 below the line. Let's run it. Speed brakes. Armed. Green light. Gear. Down green. Flaps 40. Green light. Before landing checklist is completed. Let's go get it. should be a little bit more, just should be pretty sensitive and roll here at 40.
1,000.
Feels about right. 1,000 feet stable. A little crosswind from the left here, not much. My thrust levers. Auto throttle's away.
Approaching 36 left.
Okay. I need that flight simulation throttle quadrant, guys. 500 feet, stable, target sink.
400.
500. Got a little off there, we had a little bit of a wind shift. 2 rights, 2 reds, we're looking good.
300. Approaching minimum.
Yoke feels amazing right now.
Minimums. 100. 50.
Keep flying.
40. 30.
Now
20.
power out.
10. 5.
Hold it off. Oh, chat, give me that butter. Deployed. Fly the nose down. So nobody's got. Ooh, that actually felt pretty good. That nose drop felt pretty good. I was gonna say nobody has got the nose wheel slam of the 7.3 model good. That actually was good. Auto manual braking. Auto brakes off. 60. Could have made that right turn. Keep it rolling. I was gonna say nobody has that nose drop modeled in the NG. That nose comes down, so if you have to you almost have to go full aft to catch the nose in the 7.3. I'm gonna have to try that on the pmdg again. See how fast that nose comes down. Whoa. Welcome to DFW. DFW traffic. What is going on with my sim? You guys see that like stuttering and audio stuttering? DFW traffic marker 357. We're clear 36 left, crossing 36 right to the gate. It's like not. It's like my whole sim is stuttering.
Approaching 1.
Yep, copy traffic,
8
American
left.
404, turning at base. 26 left.
Alright, AJ's on 36 left. We're crossing, clear left, clear right. And
DFW,
Flaps up.
Sun Country 646, you're going to follow the 73 ahead of us, altitude near away from San Antonio.
alright, flaps up after lands. APU, please. Whoops. APU's coming up. Reset our trim. Oh, look, Ursher's still triggering. That's good to see the trim speed change there. Once the flaps went clean, that's good. You'll want to try to get that trim set before. You want to get that trim wheel set before you get the flaps up, or else it might take a while. We're going to park over here on the international side of things. Little bump in the scenery here, it looks like. Hold on. What's this sound like here? Outside sounds different, don't they? Like, not as prominent. Brake set, the spool up times, though. Look at that spool up time. Do you see that? That is legit. See how the N1s barely move? You do the throttle config check just like that. That is legit. That is from Phantom 320, who said took years off his life to get that configured. So that's cool. Stand them up. Shut them down. So we're coming down 1 and 2. Let's take a listen.
Disarm and cross-check cabin doors.
Very good. We'll continue with the shutdown checklist. Engines off. Transponders coming off. Going up to the overhead. Window heats coming off. Probe heats coming off. Electric hydraulic pumps coming off. Emergency exit lights off. APU bleed on. That's open. 10-mile final. Jeez, you guys out there all day. Lights should have got these off. Bad Captain here. Bad Captain. Those are all off. Off. Run APU power. Or steady logo light. Anti-collision is off. Fuel pumps off as well. Shutdown checklist, please. And then we could run a 500-item shutdown checklist because we like to make things hard here. All right. We're down. Let's reset you. Let's see the 7. That's how far out is that 7-2? How far out are you guys? Is it really cloudy outside today? I didn't know it was cloudy outside today. It shows how much I know being locked in my
72 is 4 from Allen.
4 from Allen. All in. It's all in. From Allen. It's all in. Alright, let's zoom this up so we can see our butter. These guys are about 25 miles out, so it'll take them forever to land. Let's leave the camera right about here. Perfect, perfect. Allen. What a guy. Alright, let's... Is there state loading? On runway. Load panel config. Let's see what happens. Meckel or Michelle? Oh. I think I say Meckel, Turks. I'm pretty sure I say Meckel. Oh, you get a dual startup from inside. I'm pretty sure I say Meckel. Is it T-Rex or Trex? I say T-Rex. I def say T-Rex. Who's this guy over there? He looks way high. What is this? Who is that? Are you landing at DFW, Chief? Because you ain't landing on this pass. What happened there? What happened there, American? Did somebody have an unstable approach? I love seeing that bare metal. That is pretty cool, though. Alright, where's the 7.2 at? Alright, let's go find him since he's hanging out. Let's let this load in. Zooming forward. Flaps 5 coming in. Oh, wow. Look at that view. Holy. Is Prague RMP simulated so I can fly Zulus? Oh man, I wish you would have asked me before. Yeah, it is. RMP Prague page 4 is simulated. I haven't messed with it in flight though. Let's see. My camera's all jacked up. There's Prague page 4. You can put your 0.5 in there. 25. We should test it. We should do that Guatemala approach again, that RMP. Oh, we're gonna listen to the shaker the whole way? That's unfortunate. There should be that 7-2 off our 1 o'clock. There's a 7-2 out there in front of us. I say T-Rex as well. RNAV T-Rex. Why do we have to listen to the shaker the whole time? That's not cool. Okay, so cockpit view is pretty much gone. Full flap sim coming in, flap 40. Speed brake is armed, but it just doesn't show in replay. That might be the 2020 versus 2024 situation. There should be more traffic on final here. I was trying to stay connected because I wasn't in his way. Nothing works on replay, no spoilers or no reverse. Alright. I'm back on Unicom. Sun Country on the ground yet?
Negative, no, it's Sun Country 646, about 5 mile, final 3, 6 left.
He's still on a 5-mile final? My goodness, man, getting that shortcut from Hoff, from Hoff. That fixed Hoff is way out there. That's like 80 miles. Looked like my park brake is on. Oh, you're right. It might be. Let me disconnect it. I just hit the brake pedals. Should have come off. But now it's like there's no thrust, right? No idle. I've got my moving my thrust levers. I got no power. Sometimes you can kind of fake the replay sound by manipulating your thrust levers and getting engine sounds. Can't really get it. Yeah, she just locked it. There's no way to shut that off either. So in the sim, that reminds me of in the sim. So we do a sim with air data for our max training on the initial type. We did a sim where we had air data problems, and you have to fly with that shaker going off the whole evolution. It's like a 30-minute evolution with the shaker going off. You're yelling at each other. You can't hear. The sim instructor's trying to give you instructions, but you can't hear. It's unfortunate, but it's good training. Hold it. We almost smashed. Oh no, that was green. That was. There's my spoilers. I'll manually deploy them. Can I manually deploy my thrust reversers? No, can't. Let's find it back. I don't want to run into that 7-2 on final. Oh, there he is. Whoop. I'm going to leave it there. We'll watch this 7-2 land. 7-2's coming in.
You went right through me.
Hey, that means you're right on profile.
I am.
All right, here comes the 7-2.
Manual control of my ship.
I'm going to have to fly that thing here. Are we going to have to get back in the 727, y'all? It's been a long time since we had a 7-2 stream.
Aircraft is so good.
Are you on the short one, or are you on the 200?
Super.
All right, we do have that. Maybe we need to get it set up. Water. There's nobody behind us, all right? Didn't you used to fly this Airbus 9 on the 7-3? Yeah, you're not going crazy, K2. You're not going crazy, man. I'm on the superior airplane, my friend. I'm on the man's airplane now. FT Sim sounds recommend for what? Oh, for the 7-2 Crazy Flyer? Oh, he's getting a little squirrely. He's getting a little squirrely. Now he's doing a little Slustavo work here. A little Slustavo work there for Team Vodka, looks like. Alright. Have you ever arrived to Block 1 NG with a standby breaker pulled out? I don't think so. He must not have... Oh, okay, big desync lag there, I guess. I guess it was a big desyncer. I need to update my models. Oh, looks like is he going around? Or he's going to stand it on his tail? What on tarnation am I looking at? What was that? Did you just crash?
No, I'm turning off the onto. I'm turning on the Whiskey Lima.
I have questions. Iveo doing Iveo things. All right, let's watch our landing. Let's run this forward. I'm gonna disconnect from the
Wait, what did it
network.
look like? Hang on, I gotta see the replay.
Yeah, you're gonna need to see it. All right, let's watch our absolute greaser here. Hold on, I got my spoilers out to stow them. Let's get away from the stick shaker.
I'll rewind it later. Go ahead.
All right, here we go. Coming down. This is a flaps 40. Oh my gosh, just like, I mean, the flare felt great. That was perfect, flap 40. Fly the nose down. See, we caught it. We caught the nose. I gotta say, landing felt good. All right, as far as flight model is concerned, y'all, I think it's actually, that felt pretty good. The only issue I had, I'm gonna reset the camera. Let me mute this for a second. On takeoff, I felt like our deadband is gone. You know, the iFly 7.3 used to have a real good deadband on rotation, which is very realistic. And it used to have it. Maybe it was just our trim. Maybe we were a little out of balance, but I didn't really feel it on that takeoff. So we'll do another stream on this one soon, maybe later this week, tomorrow or something. But other than that, she felt pretty good. I like the new updates. I mean, the airplane looks good. It's good having a nice... I feel like the airplane is nice and crisp now, texture-wise. It's definitely stepped up the game. The EFB is really snappy. Just going to take some getting used to finding where things are, but it is snappy. There's no lag. Look at that. Just, oh, perfect flare. That was a butter right there, man. Oh, it was a butter. That's a flap 40 flare right there. Just kind of let it come down. You know, 50 feet, think. 30 feet, you better be at idle. And then you better be flaring by 20. And then the last 10 feet are between Boeing and God. So that's about it. That's how you land a 7.3. All right, sails coming up. I'll put a few more replays on. Unfortunately, we're not going to have any real juicy replay sounds. It's just the way the iFly is in replay. But I just want to shout out everybody that I met at Expo and all the fans of the channel. I mean, to put faces to the screen names behind the chats and the Discord was an incredible experience. And this time, you know, I got to actually, I don't want to say enjoy it more, not that I didn't enjoy it last time, but I had more time to process this time. So thank you to each and every single one of you who came up to me, said hello, shook a lot of hands. I've been taking vitamin C, a preventative here, some black seed oils, you know what I'm doing, some zinc. Just says preventative. I feel fine now, but we shook a lot of hands over the last few days, and it was absolute blast. So thank you for the support. Thank you all for the bank angle checks today. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for just hitting the like button, hanging out with me here as we did a little Expo debrief. We'll be back at Expo 2027. Be in Vegas. It'll be a hot one, and I'm not going on. You know, vodka says it's 1 block away. It's probably going to be 15 blocks. I'm not walking in the heat. I'll be Ubering, but we'll make it work. We'll make it work for Vegas 2027. So I'll look forward to seeing you guys later this week, maybe later this evening if I can escape DOTC here for reserve for tomorrow. We might do a jet card stream this evening. If not, I'll see you all at some point this week, I'm sure. So stay safe, stay healthy. I'm V1. Enjoy the replay with no sounds. Until the next one, stay safe, stay healthy. I'm V1. See ya! John Tree mod. You gotta get it. This looks real life. Damn, that's pretty crazy. Look at that.